We are live.
Awesome.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well on this Saturday evening. Hello, Andy. Thanks for joining me
No problem,
on
Jason.
this
How you doing?
on this quite random. Just like I'm going to do a stream tonight because I feel like it. That's
Yes.
the only reason I'm live. But yeah, just saying some of those quickly. We have the legend that is Kurashia Ichi. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope
Hello.
you're doing well. We have your local Joe. Hello, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
Ichi says, shit, now I'm sure I'll have nightmares tonight seeing that creepy picture of Jason. That is. Well, I try my best to give everyone nightmares. So, I think I'm doing all right with that. And we have Evander Slayer Reviews. Hello, Evander. Welcome to the stream.
Hi, Evander.
So I could kick us off. Andy, what have you watched recently that we can have a chat about?
Okay, well, probably the most recent film I've seen was probably one we can't talk about. Is the new Scream. But yeah, not really that much more recently, to be honest. I mean, I went to see Licorice Pizza last week. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I watched a David Cronenberg film today called Maps to the Stars. I thought that was okay. Yeah, just it's hard to keep track of what I've seen and what I've not seen. But yeah, I've watched a lot of recent releases, shall we say, on Netflix, like Tick Tick Boom and Don't Look Up, and probably one I really enjoyed on streaming was the Val Kilmer documentary.
Cool. I've not watched that yet.
Yeah, I recommend it. I thought it was really insightful and I enjoyed it.
Are you hearing some interference?
No,
I'm hearing something that sounds like a flutter, like in my ears.
No, I'm doing okay.
Weird. I don't know. It's just weird. Just like let's talk about Scream. Obviously, you can't talk about too much, but how did you find Scream?
Overall, I thought it was a good slasher film. It was a good fun time. Cool. It did everything I wanted it to do. Just overall quite pleasant. I think it's a good start to 2022. Just overall really enjoyed it. Had a really good time with it. Not perfect by any means. I think it's the best sequel of the Scream sequels.
Oh wow! Okay,
I'd say that. Yes, I'd say it lands very nicely between 1 and 2 for me. Somewhere.
Oh wow!
Right in that gap, but that's just me. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed it.
I don't know about you, but when it was announced for January, I was a bit worried for it because usually you'll find that January is like kind of a lull month where like no one really goes to the theaters, no one really goes and sees movies. So I always assumed that January was the month where studios let their film actor die. No pun intended for Scream, of course. So I was a bit worried that it was a film that they didn't have faith in. Therefore, I just put it out in January. No one cares about January films, kind of thing. But I'm glad to hear that it's actually pretty decent. So,
yeah, of course. Because I think obviously Christmas wipes a lot of people out. Don't have as much money, so studios don't tend to put their movies out in January. A lot of the duds sort of get that month. But I was very pleased with it. Really enjoyed it and just thought, I thought January is a bit of an odd month to release it, but yeah, I still enjoyed it.
I mean, the fun fact about movies is that usually you'll find a film is ready to go within, say it was announced for January, which it was, you probably find that it was complete 6 months ago. It was ready to go 6 months ago, but I can imagine they didn't want to challenge Halloween Kills in the Halloween season. But like again, I reckon it probably would have beaten it out because that's not a good film. but that's just my opinion. As for me, when it concerns films, I've watched a few. There's a film that I put on and I just turned it off because I couldn't deal with it, which is a shame because some people say it's actually good, which is a Netflix film called The Silence.
Right.
The only reason I turned it off is because it does that simulation. It tries to simulate a deaf person by having this really horrible, like a high pitched whine to simulate that she can't hear anything. So everything's like it's just like a really horrible noise.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether it's just because I don't have a sound system. It's just my TV.
Right.
I don't know whether it's just my TV speakers just didn't like the treble of it and it just hurt my ears. I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
So I turned it off, which is a shame because people like Phil Baker, for example, he said it's pretty good. So I was like, okay, cool. That's a guy I kind of trust with movies, so that's pretty good. So maybe I'll go and give it a revisit, maybe. So I tried to watch that. I didn't watch that. I watched the Netflix Death Note movie.
Right.
Are you familiar with the anime or the manga?
I'm not. I've heard of it. I couldn't tell you anything what it's about. But no, it's just something I've heard of in passing.
So Death Note is about a character called Light.
Right.
In the anime, he's called Light Yagami, but because they have to westernize it, he's called Light Turner in the Netflix film. And it's about him discovering a notebook that's fallen from the heavens, it seems, and he picks it up and it's called the Death Note. And basically, what it is it belongs to a death god or a Shinigami in this case, and he's dropped it into the human world just for a joke to see what will happen. So he's picked it up, and then basically whatever if you put someone's name in the notebook and you visualize what they look like, you've got to know their face and their name, and you write down how they die, they will die, pretty much.
Okay.
So it's about this character. It's about this character using it to wipe out crime and wipe out evil people, and he takes this what's the word for not an alias, but yeah, sort of is. He takes the alias of the name Kira, which means killer in Japanese.
Okay.
Obviously, it kind of like it attracts the attention of like these super detectives and stuff. There's a guy called only known by the letter L, and he's determined to track down who Kira is. Obviously, the anime had like 39 episodes just to really get this whole story out. The movie tries to condense it all into 90 to 100 minutes. I didn't think it was terrible. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's really gory, which is great. It's nice to see, an anime adaptation kind of go to full hog with it. But there's Light has so much character development in the show, where he goes from this really, bear in mind, he's a really intelligent kid in high school, basically he basically becomes this power mad character by the end of the show. He believes himself to be God. He's changing the world. He's this godlike figure.
Yeah.
But in the film, it feels like the whole middle chunk they just made it into this montage of him just using a death note to kill loads of people. So there's a missed opportunity here where they could have done maybe 2 films. And done it there and had a bit more of a stake when it concerns like character development and made it a bit more impactful. But there's a lot of I find when you take Japanese property and make it westernized, I find that Hollywood and people like Netflix, they try to make it a bit too American and too Hollywood.
Yeah.
And like his motives in the film is like, oh, he's using the death note to impress this girl he likes. That is not a plot in the anime whatsoever. So it just feels a bit weird.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of give and take with the Netflix film. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I can imagine it probably pisses off a lot of the anime kind of diehards.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a film that has a lot of gore and is kind of like a cool concept on paper, no pun intended, I think you might have a good time with it for what it is. But if you're coming off the anime, then you might find, like I did, there's a lot of problems. But I didn't let that kind of piss me off. I tried to like, this is an adaptation for a reason. It's going to be different. I've got to allow it, because I find a lot of fandoms don't let things be different. If you're adapting one thing to another, there's going to be changes and there's going to be differences, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There's no way. It's like, for example, I'm wearing my Dragon Ball hoodie.
Yeah.
They made that god awful Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah.
There is no way you can translate something inherently Japanese into an English speaking movie and make it 1-to-1. Impossible. Especially when it was a comic book first and then an animation. That's probably why things become animation, because they work better in animation. You can do a lot more. You're not tied to the you're not tied to the physics of reality in animation. You can do all sorts of shit. So I find it very very hard to do that. So I gave the film a bit of slack in that regard, and I quite enjoyed it for what it was. I also watched. I was actually really surprised how much I enjoyed this movie. I watched that Bloodshot with Vin Diesel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, I've not seen it. I heard very mixed things about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's a very, and I thought it was a very entertaining movie. It's very by the numbers sci-fi action.
Right.
So don't expect anything super deep. It's very pretty much like what you see is what you get. Vin Diesel, typical kind of like, I'm well hard, mate. Like Vin Diesel. But I thought it was entertaining. I enjoyed it for what it was. So yeah. And I bought the 4K because I found the 4K for like $6.99 on eBay. So I got it.
Yeah.
You can't slouch at that. What else? I've watched so much this week. I've just been watching just crap. Just all sorts of stuff. I watched a really good film. I've just got the Arrow Blu-ray of it. I See You.
Right, yeah. I've seen that on Arrow. I've not picked it up yet. I've not seen it, but I've heard some good things about it.
It's a fantastic kind of, I want to say, abduction thriller.
Right.
But that, I'm saying that loosely because I can't really say much more, because it does subvert. You go in and expect one thing, it just turns into something completely different. And that's what I love about the film. It does something I've not really seen a film do before, in terms of it basically, obviously, there's that flip where the switch flips and you're like, what the fuck? It's really, really good. And I highly recommend checking it out, man.
Yeah, no,
it's
that's
on, I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Really, really decent. I really liked it anyway. That's about it for stuff I've watched so this week. Is that everything I've watched? I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did watch I forget how you pronounce it. Paganini Horror. It's an Italian horror film from the 80s. Awful. I hated it.
Fair enough.
Like I love myself some Italian horror, and it had a really good concept where it was kind of like this band, they can't seem to find the right sound for their new record. They can't seem to find what works, and they find out about this this musician who basically marries this super rich girl just so he can kill her and take her fortune and make the best music ever and get the best like this is like, obviously this apparently story is meant to be like 1800s kind of thing or whatever. I forget. I wasn't really paying attention that much because it was awful. But so they're doing this music video, but they're in the house. They're in this castle almost, of this where this murder happened and that. And they get haunted by the ghost of this guy, and he's like killing them off one by one. But this film is an hour and 28 minutes. I guarantee you a good 45 minutes of this movie is them recording their music videos. And I mean, like 10 minutes each of them just like, yeah, duh, 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 duh. It's like, can we get to the killing, please? Because I thought this was a slasher film. Thanks.
Right.
So
Yeah.
It does the biggest sin for movies. It bored the piss out of
Boring.
me.
Yeah.
I was so bored. Even when stuff starts to ramp up in the final act. Bear in mind, the film is 1 hour and 28 minutes. For some reason, it felt like it was like 3 hours and 28 minutes. I was so bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could safely say you could skip that one.
Yes, will do. Yeah.
But yeah, I've had a pretty good time in movies this week. I've watched some pretty good stuff. We have The Fisherman's Friends. He says physical streamers rating has gone up to 7.8 out of 10. Cool. I'm glad that I've got a good score. Not
That's
that I
awesome.
really care that much, but I don't know whether it matters. Just IMDb, like I don't know why I'm on there. It's just whatever. My love, Sophie's here. She says, "Hey, my love. Hey, Andy. Me and Mum, Linda, say hello." Well, hello, everyone.
Hello. Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Itchy says, Jason, have you watched any of your 4K discs? You absolute. The word you're looking for there, Itchy, is you absolute slag. That's the word. That's my choice word there. There you go. You know, have you watched any of your 4K discs? You absolute slag. That makes sense. I've watched a few of them, but it's not all of them. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. I'm sorry if I offend you, Itchy, but it's just one of those things. we have Mike in the chat. Hello, Mike. Thanks for joining the stream. I tell you what, Andy, Mike is doing unbelievably well with his channel. I swear he's got like seven videos. He's almost at 100 subscribers. He's absolutely smashing it.
He's doing great. Yeah, he's doing great. Mike's obviously he's no stranger to YouTube. He has his music channel. I think he's got about 600 subs on his music channel. And nice. Yeah, it's great to see him delve into the movie side of it. Just absolutely fantastic to watch him grow. His subs grow. Yeah, it's brilliant. We're
doing good, Mike. Thanks for dropping by. He says it's currently out at the moment, but I hope you have a good stream. Yeah, it's been. I've been waffling on for most of it, but it's been good. I need to get rid of some people, but you know.
Yeah.
Thus is the way of life on live streams. Sophie says, "My love, what a lovely hoodie you are wearing." Yes, it is the hoodie that you bought me at Christmas. So I do thank you very much, my love. This is going to be my de facto hoodie for my videos. So you probably see this in every video from now on, because I want to keep my videos kind of uniform in terms of keeping the same kind of dress code, I suppose.
Yeah.
Your local Joe says, "What's your favorite episode of The Inbetweeners?" For me, it has to be Night Out in London, season 2, episode 5. I've never watched The Inbetweeners. It's never interested me at all.
Okay.
And again, I'm not really into my comedy, so it kind of.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair enough. Yeah.
Really do. You know, it doesn't really attract me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a nostalgic show for me. I know that probably sounds a bit wrong because it's not that old in terms of television.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one I sort of watched it at the sort of same time as I was going through things in life that those characters were going through at school, like coming to the end of school, doing exams, going on to uni and all that. Yeah, it's a good show. It's funny. It does make me laugh. Well, yeah, there's too many good episodes, if I'm honest. It's hard to pick one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I say I'm not into my comedy. I'm very. Yeah. I guess I'm very particular when it concerns comedy.
Yes. Yeah.
Because just like music, it's probably the most subjective thing ever, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can't get any more subjective than humor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, the two big sort of genres in movies that are subjective are comedy and horror. More so comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, because what makes one person laugh isn't going to make someone else laugh, and it's the same with horror. We all have different phobias and we all have different senses of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I can sit there and put on episodes of Bottom and be rolling on the floor laughing, because I find that stuff funny. But I guess I kind of just stick to stuff that I just find hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot for me to discover new stuff that makes me laugh. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult when someone goes, check out this show, it's really funny. I find it very difficult to give a shit about actually checking it out, because I find the stuff I find funny is usually stuff I stumble upon by accident by myself. If that makes sense. Yeah. That's just the way I am. I suppose I'm a bit weird like that.
No, it makes sense, because if someone says check out the show, you'll find it really funny, there's automatically a bar of expectations there. It's like and you feel as if I'm don't like this person's not going to like me, and it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like you can watch it and not find it funny, and then you might say, I was a bit disappointed by that. It was a bit overhyped. Didn't really make me laugh.
Yeah.
There's always that danger.
I missed one. Your local Joe says, I want to see Bloodshot. I would recommend it if you just want something, you can switch your brain off and just have a bit of a kind of by the numbers sci-fi action film. I think you might have a good time with it. Just don't expect the greatest thing ever. You might have a good time. I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed it, considering it didn't get the best reception ever.
Yeah.
Sophie says, I'm surprised that you are not drinking tea. That is because I just had a cup of tea and I didn't want another one straight after one. So I settled with Coke for the stream. Gotta fucking get rid of this shit on here. There we go. Maybe that's okay. Sorry, I'm doing some business.
That is understandable. Yeah.
Right, I'm really confused. Right, okay. We have Jamie Powell in the chat.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, chaps. Hope you're well. Really enjoyed the recent Scream film. Hope you guys do, if and when you see it. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for joining the stream, Jamie. Really do appreciate it. I do plan to see Scream tomorrow. Whether I will or not is a different matter, because I say I'm going to do something, I wake up in the morning and think I can't be asked to do nothing. It's my only day off this week, so it's kind of like, do I want to go to the cinema or do I just have a day of just doing nothing? It's always the way.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure someone's already done this for me. That's why it's coming up error.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to bring it up because it's just giving them airtime. I don't want to give it. Okay, Sophie says, Linda asks, what is your favorite horror movie? She isn't a fan of horror. Lost Boys scared her. We were just saying, right? We were just saying horror.
Yeah.
Subjective. You don't know, fear is the most unpredictable thing, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everyone will experience it differently. I think I've said this so many times on this channel. The Exorcist is my favorite horror film of all time.
Yep.
In terms of pound for pound, just quality, I think it's the best ever made, in my opinion. And it still feels contemporary today. You put that Blu-ray on, and it looks great. The performances are amazing. The atmosphere is just just thick and just horrid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you know, yeah, it's funny because like it took me until 2017 to watch that movie for the first time.
Right.
I don't know why. It just never really kind of fell in my lap. I suppose is the way to say it. Plus, I didn't feel like watching it before then because I felt like it's been hyped up as this the most scariest film ever made and all this, you know. But I had a randomized horror marathon at my friend's house. We had a bunch of horror films on Blu-ray, and we just put a little randomizer on our phone and just click random.
Yeah.
And the first film to be picked was The Exorcist. What a way to start a Halloween marathon, eh?
No, it's a great film. I absolutely love it. I saw it way too young. I think I was about 10,
Wow.
10 when I saw it. I think what sort of intrigued me about seeing it was its reputation. It's probably the biggest film to have the biggest reputation ever. And I think some people might be disappointed by it, you know, if they haven't seen it and they've been exposed to this film's reputation as the scariest horror film of all time. I think if you go into it thinking that, you'll be disappointed. If you go into it with no expectations at all, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised about how good of a horror film it is.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's just disturbing on every level, and it's a very uncomfortable film. You know, the characters in it are absolutely spot on. The young priest, I think, is a brilliant character. You know, the whole everything he goes through with his mother and how this demon that's taken over this girl is, well, for lack of a better word, the demon is completely fucking with this guy, and it's messing with him, and it's making him question his faith. It's fascinating. I just absolutely love it. It's more of a psychological horror, if that makes sense. It's just this demon is trying to break this priest, this individual.
Yeah, it's very much like can get under your skin quite easily.
Yeah.
It's got like I sometimes I feel like I found it quite unintentionally funny in parts. It has one of my favorite. Yes, one of my favorite pieces of dialogue in any film ever. Is when she throws her mum against the wall and her head turns. Did you see what she did? Your cunting daughter. Like I loved the delivery of that line. What that line is, you know, seeing that little girl say cunting is one thing. Some of the things the little girl says is quite shocking. You can imagine in 73 when it came out, like seeing this like 12, she meant to be 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Saying all these heinous things. It's like, whoa, like holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah. That was the bit the first time I saw it when I was 10. That was the bit that I had to turn it off at because I was terrified.
Wow.
That was the bit because I'd seen bits of the film before, but I'd seen bits of Reagan as Reagan and I'd seen bits of her as the demon. The bit that scene you were talking about, that scene is somewhere in the middle of the transition of this demon taking over this girl.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
So I'd never ever seen that scene before until I saw the movie, and it just really, really upset me, and I was terrified. I couldn't sleep. That scene messed with me, and funnily enough, the next day I sort of skipped past that bit and I finished the film, and I didn't find any other part of the film as scary as that bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like, right, okay, I've seen it now. It's a way off. I can say I've seen it, but yeah, that scene it really messed me up. That as a kid, that scene. I'm fine with it now, obviously. But
on a first watch, I didn't obviously because I don't know how I got to that film, and I don't know how I hadn't seen that film and not be spoiled. But thankfully, I wasn't spoiled.
Right.
Obviously, I knew it was about a demon possessing a girl. You know, I knew that much. And it was obviously about an exorcism. I knew that much, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember watching it for the first time, and I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know whether it was going to have we saved the girl and everything's good, or whether something happened. But the ending, didn't see the ending. Wow, that ending, man, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a great ending. It's a clever ending.
Mm.
It does so, it plays out, and then you see it and you go, okay, that makes sense. It's not what I expected, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense for those characters to do what they do. It makes sense.
It's just a great film. Even today, like I don't watch it very often. I think I've seen it maybe twice more since my first time watching it. But even those two rewatches are still like, this is like, I keep saying to myself, how is this, a film from the 70s? How is it like it's so contemporary? Like, it just looks so clean. It feels like a modern film. It doesn't feel dated whatsoever. It's aged so well.
Yeah, completely. Time hasn't harmed that film at all. It's hard to describe how well that movie holds up.
Yeah,
it's just it's very good. It's very clean. I think the dialogue in it is great. The acting in it is superb. We forget, 73. That movie was like a bomb in terms of horror. It just exploded. People. What it was doing to people who saw it in the cinema as well. People were fainting. People were being sick. People were leaving. It was a game changer, complete game changer for horror. For me, from what I've seen, in terms of documentaries and things like that. But it's great. It's one of the best horror films in my opinion, hands down.
It has the label, which I consider, it has that quote, which I think hurts the film, which is the scariest movie ever made. I do think that really does hurt the movie.
I agree. Yeah,
I understand it having that tag in the 70s. It probably, like you say, it probably terrified a lot of audiences back then. Obviously, before my time, obviously before your time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think nowadays, so many horror films come out, get churned out by Hollywood, that have that exact same tag.
Yeah,
the scariest film ever made. Or they changed up now. The scariest film I've ever seen. Tom Watling, the son, or whatever. Tom something, the son, whatever his name is. Tom Jonathan, the son. I'm just like, I feel that tag has lost all weight completely.
Yeah,
like, because sure, you can say the scariest film ever made, but you've got to take that. You've got to take that quote as one person's opinion, because, like we just spoke about, horror is so subjective.
Yes.
But I do think that hurts the film. I didn't find it scary. I found it disturbing and unsettling, and kind of engrossing, because it was so well done, and the atmosphere was so palpable in there. But I didn't feel fear, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, completely. For me, there's more modern films that I find scarier than The Exorcist. Hereditary scares the shit out of me. That movie. It terrifies me. That movie. It works so well. It does what it does so well. It gets under my skin. I find it so creepy. And yet, I've seen all 5 Scream films. I don't find a single one of the Scream films scary, but I enjoy them so much. Like, I just find them entertaining, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. What is your favorite horror film, Andy?
I have a lot of like comfort horror films that I like, that I go back to and enjoy. Number one for me is probably Fright Night. It's a phenomenal movie.
I love the film.
I can go back to that film over and over and over again, and I never really get bored of it. It's phenomenal. The cast have such a charm to them. I love watching them all on screen. I love the soundtrack. I love, it's a great 80s vampire horror movie. It ticks every box for me, and it's so much fun. I absolutely love it. Lost Boys as well is one I go back to. I enjoy. It's great. Elm Street 3, phenomenal.
It's my favorite Elm Street. My favorite Elm Street.
Yeah, it's great. The third one's always the one I went back to and watched the most, just because I think the first one executes the concept so well, but the third one is the one that has so much fun with it and takes it to the next level, and it just has fun. And you're on board with the characters. You love them all. When they go, they all sort of enter the dream world, and they all have their own powers, and it's great. It's so much fun.
There's such a good moment. I love. There's a moment in that film that I just think it's just I see it as a subtle. It's subtle continuity where the bit where Freddy's the weird kind of fucking worm penis monster.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you see Nancy comes in this new dream world. She comes in and he looks and you see him almost like wince back a little bit and he goes, "You." Yeah. Like that is just his facial expression, the way he kind of winces, kind of pulls back a little bit. Like that subtle continuity of like, I remember you little bitch. You're little person, got rid of me the last time. I love that little kind of subtleness there. Bringing her back as like almost like a coach character, like a guardian character was pretty awesome. Yeah,
Nancy. No, she's great. Yeah. Elm Street 3, just it's the definition of a fun horror film. It's so entertaining. It's so fun. I just love it.
That the bell tower scene.
Yeah.
Where he's like puppets.
Yeah.
That always makes me cringe, man.
Yeah.
I
feel
the idea of like he's using your veins as strings. Like, all cringy.
Nasty. Yeah. You feel it. It's horrible. It's gross, and the effects are great for the time.
It's really good.
They look awesome, but it's just like you feel it. Like I'm feeling it now, just talking about it. Like, it's going through me.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
We can't talk about this film without talking about, welcome to prime time, bitch. Like, that's the moment where Freddy became Freddy Krueger, who is, basically he became a superstar at that moment, right? In my opinion, like he officially became, a celebrity in some respects in concerns of horror. And I still think Dream Warriors, it has that perfect balance of the kind of like quirky one-liner kind of comedy Freddy with the dark and just scary as hell Freddy. It kind of treads that line very carefully.
Yes, yeah.
And then part 4 kind of shits the bed, in my opinion, like completely shits the bed with that.
But 4 and 5 aren't great.
I like 5. 5, okay. I think 5 has a lot of fun with itself, and I really enjoy that for what it is.
Yeah.
The concept is absolutely ludicrous. The story is fucking, but probably why I love it so much because absolutely just. There is no point where you can suspend your disbelief in that movie. It's so just ridiculously stupid, but I love it. I think I did a ranking about 2 years ago now when I first started my channel, and I think like part 5 was like my 3rd favorite Freddy Nightmare movie. I think I like it more than 2. I like it more than 4. Obviously, Freddy's Dead is like the worst film ever made. People are surprised that I don't like 4 that much. I don't like 4 solely because they built up these characters from part 3. You could arguably say that 3 should have been where the franchise ended because it was quite a definitive end to Freddy in that movie. But I didn't like. This is where my opinion kind of contradicts. If you know about my Alien 3 love, this is going to contradict that. But I don't give a shit. Whatever. I'm allowed to like what I like. I don't like that they've built this. They built these characters up. They pretty much definitively killed Freddy Krueger, and then in part 4, what happens? Oh, a dog pisses fire, and now you've got Freddy Krueger back, and then he just kills all the surviving members of Dream Warriors. And except the blonde girl, I forget her name, but that's how much I really give a shit. Yeah, so fuck that movie. Anyway, Alien 3 does the same thing, but I like Alien 3, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Oh god. Moving on.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. All your picks were great, by the way.
Yeah, I could talk about those films for for hours. I just love them. Yeah.
Itchy's replying to Sophie saying, "Lost Boys is blooming terrifying." Terrifying.
Yeah, it's a great Joel Schumacher film, The Lost Boys. It's brilliant. Yeah.
I forgot he directed that.
Yeah.
He died not long ago, didn't he?
Yeah, sadly. Yeah.
That's a shame. Lost Boys is brilliant. One of my favorite vampire films. Do you know what? Lost Boys is one of those vampire films that I really liked as a kid, but I haven't revisited as an adult for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Just haven't.
Yeah.
I'm terrible like that.
It's insanely 80s, and I just absolutely love it for that. Slapback came out slapback, I think 86.
It's I think I might have the right movie. I can't remember, but because Lost Boys is it? Because I watched this channel called Dead Meat, and they've got an intro of all different occasions where different horror films where they say dead meat. It's like, what do you think? Oh, I think we're dead meat. So that clip is from Jason Lives. The two kids under the bed are like, oh, we're gonna die. But there's a bit where you see Kiefer Sutherland going, "You're dead meat." So I think that's from Lost Boys. I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Check out our channel, by the way. Really good channel.
Yeah.
Dead Meat. They do like kill counts and all horror films.
Oh, okay.
Really good.
Awesome.
It's a really good channel. The person that's got the best YouTube name ever, Dr. Impossible of Counterpunch, 1984. They say, not as terrifying as Salem's Lot. Saw my TV series in 83 on BBC One. Nearly shit my pants. Me and Sophie started watching that, but we just wasn't feeling it for some reason at the time. Yeah. We need to give it another go. But at that moment when we tried to watch it, we just were like, not feeling this one right now. So we're going to give it another go some other time. But I think it was because it was quite late. It felt very dated when we put it on. I don't know whether it's just because maybe we weren't ready for that kind of thing. And we know it's like 3 hours long or 4 hours long or something.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're not ready for this right now. So maybe another time. But yeah, I remember Keith of Euphoria Pictures talking about a window scene, absolutely shitting himself up. So
I'm 100% agree. It's the kid at the window. It's terrifying.
Is this film going to make me scared of windows for the rest of my life, Andy? Thing is, my windows are up here, so I'd be even a bit more worried if it's a kid up here, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
because I've got like roof windows because I'm in the roof.
It's not a typical jump scare. It's very slow in the way it's played out, but it's creepy as fuck. Oh, it's yeah.
Your local Joe says the only horror movie I'm not scared of is definitely Scream 4. The other Scream films are so scary. Just 4 is less scary. That's fair.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah.
Sophie says we need to try a Halloween marathon again this year. Not give up and watch Bodger and Badger. Yeah, that happened. That's actually that's a real fact right there.
Yeah.
Because I've just become a bit more like I want to respect my time more. So if I put a film on and it hasn't grabbed me in the first, like, say, 20 minutes, I'm turning it off. I don't give a shit. You know? Is that fair? Like, I've only got everyone has a limited amount of time that they can, dedicate to entertainment, say movies. So you want a film that you're gonna, keep with until the end and enjoy yourself. You don't want to, be bored for the duration.
No.
Like even that Pagani horror film, that Italian one. I didn't watch all the way through. I watched it got to like I think it was like 45 minutes in, and I'm done. I'm bored. So I turned it off. It was getting to the slashery bit, but I was so uninvested at that point. I was just like, look, this is wasting my time. I'm going to turn it off.
Yeah.
I think that's fair, right? You know?
Yeah.
I think it goes to the video games as well. I just feel like with a video game, once the game stops being fun, stop playing it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Itchy says, I found Home Alone really scary as a kid. Now, what kind of fucked up parents leave their little shit of a kid alone during Christmas? That scared me a lot. Heck, it still scares me. That would never happen these days. I mean,
no.
You know, like my little nephew, Connor, he's like 3 and he knows what an iPad is. So, I mean, that kind of stuff couldn't happen with kids that have access to like smartphones and iPads and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, no.
It could never happen nowadays, you know?
No. The movie would be over in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a little bugbear with the first Home Alone movie that winds me up is that I don't believe a copper would go to that house, knock on the door twice, and then leave. I don't think that would happen. I think they would literally get a warrant to make sure the kid, because if their parents saying, look, we've left our kid at home,
yeah,
you know, I don't believe a cop would just knock on the door and leave.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it. Like
it's like the police just haven't tried hard enough there. It's like they've just knocked and gone.
I think that's part of the joke, because you've got the guy on the phone with his donut, didn't you? He's like, just giving the usual kind of like, you know, missing person spiel, like, is the child in immediate danger? Blah blah blah. But he's like dropping his donut everywhere, like he just doesn't care. I think it's part of the joke, but it always bugged me. Like the police would just force their way in just to make sure. I don't know. It's America. I don't know how they operate in America.
Yeah. There were bits of Home Alone that did scare me as a kid, though. There were parts of it, like the whole old man Marley.
The burner thing.
The burner,
the burner, yeah. That actually, funny enough saying that, the whole burner sequence, that made me scared of basements for fucking years when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I was scared that I was going to come across like a burner that would start screaming at me.
Yeah.
What was it? Does it say hello, Kevin? Hello, Kevin. Yeah.
It sounds horrifying. Like it's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, it's that burner because it's for heating, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Kevin just tells it, "Shut up."
I love that film.
Yeah, I do. It's great.
That is a timeless classic movie.
Yeah.
This is my house, and I've got to defend it. That bit when he rolls out the fucking the plan. The blueprint. It's so good.
Yeah.
Signs of a serial killer, though. That kid, man.
Yeah.
There's legit fan theories that he becomes Jigsaw, and I kind of can buy it. Actually, I can sort of buy it.
Yeah.
John Kramer. Formerly known as Kevin McAllister. I defended my house once. 2 wet bandits. I subjected them to rigorous tests to see if they've really got the will to survive. Let the games begin. Oh, mate, could you imagine a Saw movie, a Saw Home Alone crossover? It'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
I just want to see Daniel Stern be Marv again because he's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love Daniel Stern. He's great.
Yeah. Oh, he's such an underrated actor. Yeah. Everything he pops up in, he's wonderful. He makes me laugh so much in the second film. Just everything in that. Yeah.
That whole scene still kills me today.
He has one of the best screams in that movie where they're being attacked by the pigeons. He's
like, one of my favorite screams in Home Alone 2 is when they're passing the bag. Kevin's not here, and the mum's like, Kevin.
Yeah,
she goes like 100% on that Kevin scream.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love those movies.
Yeah, I do. Tim Curry makes the second one for me. He's phenomenal in that movie. He's just got such a charm about him.
He just radiates charisma, doesn't he? He's that good. Yeah. He's that good.
He never ever seems like he's phoning it in. No matter how big or small the role is, he gives 1,000,000% all the time. He's such a wonderful actor.
And I guarantee you, right? No one can watch Home Alone and not want fucking cheese pizza when he gets to the limo and he goes, cheese pizza. Like, holy fuck, give me pizza now.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I watch Home Alone at Christmas, one of my traditions is to get a takeaway pizza and sit down and watch the two of them back to back. Like I always do that, maybe like the 22nd, 23rd of December. Like I'll always do that. Because those two movies, you want pizza. Like, give me pizza. Yeah. It's so good.
I had pizza tonight, actually.
Yeah.
You might know what this guy's talking about. I'm a bit lost. Dr. Impossible says Reggie Nolder with fangs, David Soul with a stake, and those vampiric eyes.
Yeah, that's it's Salem's Lot. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've not seen it, so that's why I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
Your local Joe says, I got to go now. Great stream. Thanks for joining the stream, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't think Itchy understands. Wait, Andy, you were 10 in 1973? Yeah. Oh, wow. No, yes. I don't think he was. We have Pete, Playteno guy. Hello, Pete. Welcome to the stream. Hey, guys. And this is in the background while talking to Ryan. Rye, sorry. Great stream, guys. He also says, Andy, is there any more hidden gems of films you can interest us in, like Last American Virgin?
Oh, that's a good one.
If people don't know, Andy convinced a lot of our little circle to watch Last American Virgin, and I watched it not really thinking I'd like it. I thought it was actually one of the best in the genre in what it does, and I bought the Blu-ray. So yeah. So thanks for that, Andy. Appreciate that.
No, that's fine. There's been quite a few. There's been probably at least 3 people now I've recommended that film to, and they've gone out and bought the Blu-ray. So I'm glad it's getting a bit of a little following, shall we say, because it deserves it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very good film with a pair of balls on it, and I just absolutely love it. Yeah. But in terms of hidden gems, I mean, there's a lot to choose from, but nothing's in mind.
I can throw out a couple. Like I'd say, In Time. I love that movie.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, so underrated, so good. Absolutely love that film.
Yeah, it all depends what you're into as well. Like, you know, there's a lot. It all depends. Yeah, like you say, that if if you're after a happy movie, if you're after a grim movie, there's a really good movie that is very, very dark and it's very grim, but it has the most juxtaposed title. It's called Happiness, and it's one of the most grim subject dealing movies I've ever seen. Like it's got a great cast to it, but my word, is it rough, some of the stuff that happens in it. Yeah, hard to talk about with getting into spoilers, but it's got Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it, Dylan Baker, who was Kurt Connors in the Raimi trilogy. He's absolutely on point and terrifying in that movie. But yeah, it's a very, very dark movie, but I recommend it to everyone. It is phenomenal.
There's an action horror film that I just feel like is like, whenever I think of a film that kind of for me defines kind of a hidden gem, kind of underrated, would be a film called Legion.
Right.
Super great movie. Really enjoyed it. It takes place in this little kind of like middle of nowhere kind of like cafe kind of thing, and it's about basically there's going to be the demons coming up into Earth, and God has sent one angel down to basically get humanity to see if they got what it takes to basically defend themselves. It's so good. Like it's better than it has any right to be, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
Like yeah, it's just really underrated, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So if you're into your kind of like action but kind of horror action stuff,
yeah,
it's good kind of like one of those. Like I don't know what else to say. It's just better than it has any right to be. It's just really fun.
Yeah,
there's so many films that are so underrated. Like one of my favorite films of all time, Critters. That's super underrated.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't get the love it deserves. Like
no,
you know. And everyone that I've kind of shown it to have really liked it. You know, I recommended it to my cousin. He hadn't seen it in a good 20 years, and I said, "Oh yeah, you should rewatch it. It's really good." He really liked it. Me and Sophie watched it, and she really liked it. I think Pete watched it, and he liked it as well. Like I just think it's just quite an easy watch. It's very 80s, which I love about it.
Yeah,
and it has. I just think the monster in it is just so cool, like a fur ball with teeth. Like that are intelligent, and will fuck up your day if they are in numbers.
Yes.
So you're fucked. Love it, so good.
Yeah, it is. Critters is great. I love it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
We have Stand in Silence. He says hi, Jason. Hi, Andy. Hello, Peter. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
That is his name. I'm sure of it. Yeah. Yeah, I think he is because he always asks about Leon. So yeah, and Leon goes, "Hello, Peter." So yeah, I'm sure of it. Sophie says, "Me and Mum are gonna watch Bad Girls. Bye, my love. Miss you. Bye, Andy. Bye, Soph.
See you later, Soph.
See you later." I don't think I can answer this next question.
Okay.
Because you might have to remind me what films his director's done, because I don't think I can think of what he's done. Pete, Playtender guy, asks, favorite Wes Anderson film?
Okay. Yeah, he's done Rushmore, Bottle Rocket, The Royal Tenenbaums, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Grand Budapest Hotel, Moonrise Kingdom, Isle of Dogs, French Dispatch. Nothing. No.
No, nothing.
No. I'm going to go with Isle of Dogs for me.
Is that a stop motion movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Thought so. I've seen bits of it. It's the same with Fantastic Mr. Fox as well, right? That's kind of stop motion.
Same director, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His movies are very uniquely shot. He's a director who's sort of obsessed with symmetry. Like everything is perfectly in frame. Like if you drew a line down the middle of the screen, it would pretty much look the same on both halves. Yeah, it's just one of his little quirks that he has. Yeah.
Coolio. Sorry, I yielded. Dr. Impossible says, saw The Exorcist when Warner's reissued the film in UK cinemas in 1998. The audience in the cinema were laughing at the effects work. The score is superb, though minimalist. Yeah. The score is pretty good. I mean, I'm not surprised that people would laugh at it in terms of. I still think the effects are still really good today. Like I don't, but you know, maybe that audience were a bit. You know, maybe they were a bit. What's the word? I can't think of the word. But you know what I mean. Maybe they're just expecting. Well, I think it goes down to like the tag of the scariest movie ever made. I think that kind of hurts the movie, especially in modern times.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was relevant in the 70s, but when you're in 2022, I don't think it holds the same weight.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say there's a great shot in that movie I absolutely love. And it's just at the start of when the demon starts to take over her, and that doctor comes in to look at her, and she grabs him by the dick, and he falls back, and the camera's just on his face as he falls back. It's such a great shot. Yeah, just absolutely love it. The way that fall it's captured, and the score as well is brilliant. You know, Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. It's iconic. That music. Yeah.
There's a band from the 80s called Ultraviolence.
Right.
And I'm sure they've got a song. I forget what it's called. But I swear the opening riff is the Exorcist theme. I'm sure of it. Obviously, I probably could show you after the stream, but I hear that. I'm just like, that's the. I swear that's the Exorcist theme. Like, I'm sure of it. But I'm sure a lot of like metal bands in the 80s kind of were inspired by a lot of horror stuff. No doubt, Black Sabbath was built on the foundation of like scary music. That was the kind of concept for metal. Ozzy Osbourne and that working in cinemas. So I wouldn't put it past an 80s thrash metal band to have the theme of Bloody Exorcist at the beginning on a guitar.
Yeah.
It's kind of makes sense to me, really.
Yes, yeah.
Playtime Guy says, any films have you guys pre-ordered? I have the Cine Edition 4K of Last Night in Soho. That should be out the end of the month. Hopefully, it was delayed, but it was delayed until the 31st of January. So hopefully that will be coming out soon, next couple of weeks. And I've also got the 88 Films Anaconda set on pre-order. That's been delayed quite considerably. It was meant to come out in October, but it was delayed to the end of January. That's quite a big delay, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I don't mind delays if I'm getting a better product by the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're delaying, if they're delaying it for a good reason, like maybe they've got issues to iron out, then I'd rather that happen. Because we've seen it with numerous releases, especially Arrow with their 4Ks of late, especially last year, issues after issues after issues.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I usually Arrow are pretty hot on it with their great releases, but they had the issue with the Demons release, 4K release, had some messed up audio. I think the Donnie Darko one was messed up as well somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
I think the June one had problems, but I can't remember what. But yeah, loads of problems with some of their releases last year. So I welcome a delay if it means that we're going to get a complete kind of, obviously release worthy set, at the time of it coming out, kind of thing. So I've waited a while for this Anaconda set, but 88 Films are smashing it right now. So I'm looking forward to that set. But they're the only two things I've got pre-ordered at the moment, I think. Go on my Amazon. Go on my Amazon quickly. Never knows. I don't think I've because at the moment I'm not really pre-ordering much. Obviously I've got stuff like the Malignant Steelbook. I got that a while ago, just after Christmas. I can't think of what else. There is stuff that I do want to get that I know is coming out, but I'm not in a rush to pre-order them.
Right. Okay.
So like Spider-Man No Way Home. I know you can pre-order that already, but I'm just gonna wait because I don't see that selling out. I probably could walk into a HMV and pick that up on the shelf with no problem.
Yeah.
It's not a film that's gonna do that. It's not gonna. I know there's some rumors of some really big kind of 4K releases. I know Aliens is on its way, hopefully this year, on 4K, and that's going to be a no-brainer day one buy for me.
Yeah.
Which is fucking Aliens, man. Come on.
Yeah. Super. Yeah.
I'm hoping for an actual proper Godzilla 1954 4K. all the foreshadowing tells me it's coming because they've just put out a 4K restoration in theaters. So both in America and in the UK. So that tells me hopefully we might be getting a 4K of that. I'm not holding my breath because Toho have released 4Ks for a lot of the older Godzilla stuff in Japan only, and we never got those. So maybe that's because the more nuanced, kind of niche, kind of Japanese Godzilla films aren't as relevant as the 1954 one. So maybe because the 1951 is known as a timeless classic, maybe we'll still get that in 4K. And obviously, you know me, I'll be buying the standard edition. If they put out a steelbook, I'll be getting all the editions of that when that comes out. I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed for that. I can't think of what else is coming out that I would consider pre-ordering. Usually it's stuff I don't realize have been announced, and I go, "Oh, that's coming out. I'll pre-order that." You know, like I might stumble across it on Amazon or something.
No. I usually pre-order stuff if I've seen the movie at the cinema and I'm like, right, I want that film in my collection, so I'll try and order it, put a pre-order in if it's available on Amazon. I've done that quite a few times last year. Last Night in Soho, of course, was a movie I absolutely loved. I wanted to pick that up straight away. Can't wait for that to come out. Same with Ghostbusters Afterlife. I've got that on pre-order as well. Adored it. Thought it was, I just thought it was great. It ticked a lot of boxes for me. I was very happy with it. What else have I got on pre-order? Licorice Pizza, same again. I've got that on pre-order. No Way Home, obviously. I've also got the 80s documentary that's coming out, In Search of Tomorrow. Which I'm so looking forward to, because that was supposed to come out in December and it's been pushed back to April now. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to that documentary because I'm a big fan of the first two In Search of Darkness movies.
Oh yeah, I've not seen those.
Yeah, I've also got the third one on pre-order as well. They're putting that together at the minute. There was a lot of 80s movies that they've missed, so they've decided to pretty much put it to a vote as to which ones the fans want to see, and they're going to make the third documentary about all those missed movies, which I'm looking forward to.
Did they do an action movie? I'm sure something like the Last Action Heroes or something like that.
It's Oliver Harper's movie, In Search of the Last Action Heroes. Yeah,
I thought so. Yeah, I've not seen it, but I knew there was like a bunch of them. That Oliver is his name. He's got Oliver a YouTube channel because I think he does like really in-depth retrospectives. He's a pretty good channel.
I love his stuff.
He does. He's got a very particular way of scripting his videos that the way he delivers, the way he does the voiceover, I really it's just satisfying to listen to. Do you know what I mean? Like like he's really good. I'm just on Amazon now, just having a look. I'm probably going to get June because I've heard it's great, so I want to check that out. Ghostbusters Afterlife is a no-brainer. I'm probably going to get that on 4K. What else we got? No Way Home is probably a no-brainer as well. I actually probably might get the triple pack of Ghostbusters because I don't have the other two.
Makes sense.
I might get the trilogy set. That's an interesting one that Phil Baker told me about. It's coming out. 88 films, Night of the Demon.
Right, okay.
Horror film from like the 80s. He said it's like, it might be my cup of tea. Monster movie, demon movie kind of thing. I was like, cool. That sounds interesting. Just trying to look through. I thought there was a coming soon section on Amazon film, DVD and Blu-ray, but I can't seem to see it. See, I'm not very clued up on what's being released. That's why I like channels like Pete, Blu-ray Bullet Brick, because he kind of does one every Monday about what's coming out. And I do appreciate those kind of channels that do that, because I could never ever follow up on what's coming out week to week. Could you?
No,
I wouldn't have a
I
clue.
can keep on top of it. No.
But yeah, probably those two would be ones I'm going to pick up when they come out soon, which is June and Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything else that's definitely confirmed that I'll be coming out yet. Yeah, moving on. Platino guy says, my local Sainsbury's has got rid of all of its media and replaced them with books, and Tesco has got rid of half of their films as well. Bar HMV and CEX, there isn't many other places for media hunting now. Yeah, I've noticed that, like, especially where I live, my local Morrison's has a tiny section, and they only do DVDs now. They don't even bother with Blu-rays anymore.
Right.
My local Sainsbury's, which is basically the Sainsbury's mega store that I've got, it's a massive store. They got rid of all their media. My other Asda has a media section, but I don't think it gets updated very often. If it does, it's very slow on getting new stuff in.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've been to a big Tesco in years, so I don't know what a big Tesco. I've only got convenient Tesco stores near me, so they won't hold media anyway.
No.
So, but it does seem like a lot of these big supermarket chains, I just drop in their media completely.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, the Tesco by me, that's completely downsized its media section. It's pretty much been halved. I'm worried as well, because I know HMV at the minute seems to be doing okay. But if I'm honest, I think what's keeping HMV afloat is the vinyl sales. If I'm honest.
Really?
I think vinyl has come back in a really, really big way. My big HMV store in my city centre, it's about 60% vinyl. The rest of it is everything else. I really, really do think that vinyl sales is keeping HMV afloat, if I'm honest.
Interesting.
Mm.
In my local HMV, the big part of my HMV is the film and TV.
Right.
It has loads of it.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of vinyl as well. Like, vinyl has taken over a big section, like you said, as well. It probably equals CDs now as well, in terms of the kind of real estate in store that vinyl has taken up. But I've noticed as well, HMV have got a lot of tat. They sell a lot more T-shirts than they used to. There's always a table full of T-shirts, maybe 2 tables in my local one. They've got a lot of comic book stuff, a lot of like other tat, like mugs and stuff like that. But I think my local one is fairly safe, because it's in a big shopping centre, a very popular shopping centre.
Yeah.
So, and it's always busy in there. So I'm sure that store is doing fine. As a brand, I wouldn't know how they're doing. But I think Pete's got a point. You know, your bar HMV and CX. Where else can you really buy? Where there's not a brick and mortar store you can walk into and buy a Blu-ray or a DVD.
Yeah.
Really, there isn't. It's a shame, because I would shop in CX more if they got rid of the we recycle sticker.
Yeah.
Because the price stickers I don't have an issue getting them off. They're fine. But the adhesive they use on those other stickers, the round stickers, is so damaging to the case that I think I filmed a pickups video that's coming out tomorrow, Monday. I got Gremlins on 4K in CX.
Right.
It came with a slip. I don't have the slip anymore, because I pulled off that round sticker and it rips all the artwork off of that slip cover. So now I've just got it without the slip cover, because it literally destroyed the slip. And that frustrates me.
Yeah.
If they didn't have that sticker on there, I don't know why they need it. CEX is a big enough name now at this point. That why do they have to remind people, recycle, sell your shit here? We fucking know you twats. So that really annoys me. If they didn't have that sticker on their items in store, I would shop there more often. I do have a nose every so. The problem is where I work now. CEX is literally like 4 doors down from where I work.
Right.
When I finish work, I can't help myself but go in there and look because it's just like I walk past it every day. But yeah, if they got rid of those stickers, you know, I would be more inclined to shop there because their prices are pretty decent for the most part. You know, like for example, I got both Venom movies in there for 18 quid, which is pretty good if you consider, you know, the double pack Blu-ray in HMV is like 20 quid or 25 quid maybe, I can't remember. But you know what I mean, the prices are fairly decent in there.
Yeah.
And they're always doing price cuts as well. So you might find a Blu-ray in there that you can't get for cheap on anywhere else. So for example, I got that Masters of Horror box set volume, the last volume, and apparently it was really hard to get because you had places like World of Books and eBay wanting like 174 quid for it, but I got it for 20 quid in CEX. So there's sometimes there's good deals to be had there. It's just those stickers just ruin shit, and it really annoys me.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. It's like those recycling stickers. It's like the longer they're on a case, the more damage they do. Because if you do manage to get them off, you're left with a massive imprint. It looks like it's been hit by a meteor. It just the way it sort of leaves this crease, this permanent crease in the cover.
You can get it all off, but then you're left with all the sticky shit on there still. It's awful. I hate it. I know, like people in the chat are probably saying like it's a fucking sticker, get over it. But like when you're a collector, you're looking to have this in really, you want it to be in nice condition. You know, you don't want this shit on your case because then you've got to go and buy another case, and you don't want to spend more money. And it's just like fucking hell. Like, you know, like I've jumbled around my collection where some of the films I don't care. Well, some films I don't really care too much about. I want to keep them in my collection, but I don't care too much about them. They are the films that have the shitty cases with the horrible sticky shit on the cases. But I keep all the other films that I want in nice condition. I make sure they got good cases. I might just buy a massive haul of Blu-ray cases, just recase a lot of my collection as it is. But it sounds petty. Fuck it, I'm going to be petty. Those stickers are a pain in the ass.
I agree. Yeah,
you know, I would like to think a lot of people in the chat hate those stickers as well, because especially, can you imagine? You go out into CEX and there's a film you want with a slipcover. That slipcover is no longer available on a brand new copy because it's out of print. And then you get it, and that sticker just fucking just destroys it. It's going to piss you off. And I know for a fact there's a lot of people in our community that love the slipcover.
Yeah.
I'm starting not to be that fussed anymore about slipcovers. You know, now it's more about, you know, I want the movie rather than the slipcover. But when you do find a copy of a film and it has a nice slip and it has that fucking sticker on it, that's when you know, like, because sometimes I just don't buy them. I'm just like, do I have another copy without the slipcover? Because I know it's just going to ruin the slip.
Yeah.
Gremlins, my Gremlins 4K, it had a slip. No, it doesn't because sticker fucked it up. Anyway, I'm going to move on from that because it winds me up. But, yeah. Anyway, we have Jim Jam movies and TV. Hiya, legends. Well, we're not. I wouldn't say I'm a legend. Wouldn't say I'm a legend, but you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm nowhere near that.
I hope you're doing well, James. Just to let you know, I've sent you a subscriber mail yesterday, so I hope you I hope you haven't got what I've sent you, because that'd be annoying. But I hope you get it soon. I did send it first class, my friend. So hopefully you should get it. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday. Stand in Silence says, I never really liked The Exorcist much. I will, however, be rewatching Exorcist 2. Rather you than me, my friend, because I'm just avoiding that film on principle at this point.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. Yeah, it's such a disappointment, and it's the definition of a word, disappointment, because it's got such a good cast to it as well. Like the cast, if you look at the cast on paper alone, is amazing. It has Richard Burton, James L. Jones, Linda Blair came back for it. You know, it's got such a good cast, but my word, the film is borderline unwatchable.
I've heard two different takes on this movie in terms of like they're trying to sum up like. I forget what review I watched. It might have been Cody Leach. I'm not too sure. But they were talking about how they couldn't get over how bizarre this film was.
Yeah. And
he was like, who read this idea and read this script and thought, yeah, that's great, sign it off, green light it. Like he doesn't, I think it was Cody Leach that actually said that. He was just like, he couldn't comprehend how this film was approved to be made.
Yeah.
Because he said it was just so odd and so bizarre and nothing like the original movie. And it's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, on this it's funny because like I find reputation, you know, good or bad, can either make or break a movie. A movie that's got very high reputation can still kill it for you because you've, like you said, been overhyped.
Yeah.
But also, a film with a bad reputation can also intrigue. So sometimes I'm like, how bad can it be? And I want to watch it to see how bad it is. Yeah. But on this occasion, because I love the original so much, I'm just, even though I've heard great things about 3, and I know there's a lot of fans for Exorcist 3, I'm just like, I'm just going to leave them alone. I'm just not going to bother. I'm just going to keep it with the first one. I love the first one, and that's where I'm going to stay, I think.
Yeah, it's for me. It's the one of the biggest dips in quality from an original film to a sequel. With the original being so high regarded and so well made and an absolute classic, to you know, and then it just drops right down. You know, to Exorcist 2 for me is borderline unwatchable. It's really, really uncomfortable.
You say biggest dip. I'm going to take your Exorcist 2. No, I've not seen it, but I'm going to take your Exorcist 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going to raise you Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's a big dip.
Okay. That's a big drop. I still like things about the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There are still things I like about it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's over the top. Like it's insane. Like you would never ever have said that Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 were directed by the same director.
So I had a Texas Chainsaw Massacre marathon. Me and my friend Fraser was around his house. This is like I think it was, I'm going to say June, right? Summertime last year. And we sat there. We watched through all of them. So basically from the original all the way to that shitty Leatherface movie reboot that came out in like 2016, 2017. And we watched the first one. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I can understand why it made such an impact on horror.
Yeah.
I thought it was, you know, if I was going to pick out some of the best parts of it, I think the sound design is incredible. I thought the set design was brilliant, like the atmosphere with the sets and stuff. Not the biggest fan of the film, but when you get to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and it's such a jarring tonal shift. It's the juxtaposition from the first movie to the second. So there's that bit where they have a chainsaw fight, yeah. And these chainsaws are like 20 feet long for some fucking reason. But they have a chainsaw. They have a chainsaw fight. I mean, me and my friend, we looked at each other and was like, could you actually have a chainsaw fight? And we looked it up. And there's only ever been one recorded incident of two people clashing chainsaws together. And they had such awful injuries that they were lucky to be alive.
Right.
Just by trying to see I'm like, what like apparently one of the guys there's photos in this article as well of their injuries.
Right.
It's fucking horrific. This guy's arm and his hand was so mangled they were unrepairable.
Right.
And this guy had a laceration from this end of his neck here. I don't know how he survived this. Going down his chest, like basically almost torn open. Like it was awful injuries. And the article explained basically what happens when they clash, the chainsaws get together, the actual blades and the chains just basically snapped and all the shrapnel just fucking went everywhere and just tore them up.
Yeah.
It's horrific. I mean, my friend was just looking at, we're just like, this is the most unrealistic film of all time. Like, oh shit, like there's no way you could have a chainsaw fight. But you know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? When you've got Leatherface, this awfully terrifying character in the original movie, doing this weird fucking dance, it's just like I'm out of this. I'm literally zoned. You took me out of the film immediately.
Yeah, it is. It becomes a parody of itself. That second movie, it's like going from like Batman to Batman and Robin.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. It's so opposite end of the spectrum.
It's like going from Terminator to Inspector Gadget. Right, I got a point.
Oh my god! Yeah,
that's what it's like. It does have a great quote. I love this quote. Sex on the saw. The sex is no one really knows, but the saw is family. I love that. I love that quote.
I do like the bit in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 where he slices that guy's face off, and like it just I feel sore watching it, like because Tom Savini did the effects and the effects look so good.
Yeah,
when he like takes that guy's face off, and it just looks horrifying.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a terribly awful film, but I do feel it's such a dip, such a massive drop in quality from the first movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a franchise that fucking just goes down the shit pipe so quickly.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
New one this year, mate. New one.
Yeah.
I have no expectation.
Yeah, I don't mind the remake. I think the remake's pretty good.
That's my favorite in the franchise. But again, apparently I'm the remake boy in this community because I tend to quite like remakes.
Yeah, I did actually order 2 Blu-rays today, and both of them are horror remakes.
Okay.
So I ordered the remake of Evil Dead because I've seen it, but I don't own it. So I ordered it today, and I also ordered the remake of Friday the 13th.
Ah, good man. Oh,
yeah,
love those.
It cost me £12 for the both of them, and
pretty good.
Yeah, the 2 movies I've seen, but I just don't own, and I wanted to give them a rewatch and see what they're like. But yeah, I had a good time with both of those movies from what I remember, so I'm looking forward to giving them a rewatch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where we going? Okay, Itchy says Hereditary was hilarious. Almost pissed myself watching that.
I nearly pissed myself out of fear. But yeah.
I saw that in theaters, and all I felt was just uncompromising sense of dread. My anxiety level was fucking up here, like it was ridiculous. Like from start to finish, like I was anxious for the whole movie. I think that's the strength of that film and how its soundtrack and its kind of atmosphere does that to you. like I said, I don't know if anyone else kind of picked up on it, but I definitely did in the theater. If you listen, if you're listening for it, you can hear a heartbeat in the soundtrack. Buried, it's there, but you can hear it, and that's what I think is instilling that anxiety in me when I watch that film.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was a great film, but my word, did it terrify the shit out of me.
I think I prefer Midsummer
Nice.
as a film. I think it's a superior made movie. I think I don't really consider it a horror personally. It's got horrific moments in it, but I wouldn't really say it's a horror. It's more of a psychological drama, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Fucking that opening 10 minutes is horrific.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Holy shit. But yeah, I think when it comes to a story, I think Midsummer's a better film. Hereditary is a better story, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I feel about those. But great director. I'm looking forward to whatever he does next. I think him and Jordan Peele are the two that I'm kind of got my eye on.
Yes.
I think like Jordan Peele has made 2 great films. I'm looking forward to his new one, Nope.
Yeah.
Got no clue what it's going to be about, but you know, like I said, his Get Out and Us have got that kind of almost doppelganger kind of theme.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he's going to make it. This is just me making shit up, you know, just like, oh yeah, maybe it's going to be a doppelganger trilogy, and Nope is going to be another kind of almost play on that kind of doppelganger thing. But it might be something completely different. Who knows? Yeah. But I think those two, Ari Aster. Is it Ari Aster? Is that his name? Midsummer?
Yeah, Midsummer and Hereditary, Ari Aster.
Ari Aster and Jordan Peele. I think they're the two guys in the horror space that I'm really kind of keeping my eye on, because I think they've done great stuff so far.
Yeah.
Standing in Silence asks, Andy, did you watch Vamp?
Yes, I have seen Vamp. I love it. I think it's great. Great 80s. Yeah, it's a great 80s vampire movie. It does give me sort of Fright Night vibes. I don't think it's as good as Fright Night, but it's very much that type of that type of 80s vampire movie. Really enjoy it. It's got Grace Jones in it as well, and she doesn't have any lines in the movie at all. She's completely mute the whole film. But yeah, I loved it. I just thought it was great. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome. I need to keep an eye out for that one then, because that sounds like my cup of tea.
Yeah.
James says, which Gamera films do you prefer? I'm going to say this all day long until I'm sick of saying it. Heisei trilogy is just some of the best kaiju films ever. Yeah. Guardians of the Universe, Attack on Legion, and Revenge of Iris are just how those films looked that good. How the production of those films looked that good in the 90s is unbelievable. Like the suit design, the practical effects are just mind-boggling for the time. You know, it's like I love the way I see it. It's just like, you know, that time the fire-breathing turtle beat Godzilla at his own game. I'm saying it like,
yeah.
Fuck, those 3 movies. It's awesome. Specifically, Attack on Legion. I love that's my favorite out of those 3. Gamera, Attack on Legion. I think Mother Legion as an antagonist, so cool. Like it's like kind of insect, kind of hive mind creature. So cool. Basically brings Gamera down to his knees pretty much, and it's like needs the people to believe in him. And it's so good. Oh, I love that film. So good. Yeah. What about you? What would you say?
Yeah, I have to agree with the Heisei era. I found the second film to probably be the most enjoyable. I watched both eras over 2 days. So
wow. That's a job.
I managed to watch the whole Showa era in one day. It was just all a blur. It was just back to back. It was just Gamera versus different. But yeah, it's a lot. They're entertaining. They're a lot of fun. Yeah.
They're very much product of their time.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can tell they're pretty much like we're aping Godzilla, but we're trying to market to a more child kind of audience. They take it. I forget what kind. I think it's about the the 80s era of Gamera. Can they take a sharp dip in quality? I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are what they are. You know, they're just really silly, kind of kid-friendly kaiju films.
Yeah.
Kind of harmless, really. I'd say.
Yeah. They're inoffensive. They are what they are, you know, but they're entertaining. You can have fun watching them. You know,
oh man, those three Heisei 90s trilogy, fuck me, those are good movies. Even if you're not into your kaiju, they're just good fucking movies. You know, in general, like holy shit, I love those films. I watched for the first time. I watched those in a day, back to back.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, was I happy I did that? Holy shit, it's good. I'd say I think the weakest out of those three is Iris. I think Revenge of Iris is the weakest one.
Okay.
I didn't really care for the whole relationship between the girl and Iris. I think it was kind of just I didn't feel much of a connection there. But I think Guardian of the Universe and Attack on Legion are the two best out of Iris is still good. Like the conflict at the end is epic. But I think it's the weakest out of the three. But those first two are just chef's kiss. They're so good.
Yeah.
Standing in Silence says, I keep coming back to Elm Street 3 and Lost Boys 2. Awesome.
Yeah. Elm Street 3 has just some of the best characters in a horror film. You love and root for those characters. They're so good. Yeah.
I love that film.
Yeah.
And it has Dokken doing the fucking theme song. You know, what's not
exactly. Into the Fire, you know. Fucking great. Yeah.
Standing in Silence also says, there's such an awesome kill, the Welcome to Prime Time bitch kill.
Yeah.
Your big break into TV.
Yeah.
Yep. Literally. Like the practical effect of that is really well done as well, if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. It just looks like a vacuum seal on his head. Like it looks like it's having the air sucked out of it. But yeah, the practical effects are spot on in that movie. Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Dr. Impossible says, I've just ordered from Indicator 2 Mexican horror films, La Llorona and The Phantom of the Monastery. Both films follow the template of Universal horror films from the late 1930s. Look good. Nice.
Yeah, I can't say I've heard of them, but yeah.
I haven't, but they sound quite cool. I've kind of accumulated quite a modest little Indicator collection. I went a bit crazy when they had their sale on. So they're quite nice releases, to be fair. Indicator.
Yeah.
Ichi says, Andy, silly person, do you have... Okay, it's a bit harsh. It's a bit uncalled for. Ichi, jeez. Do you have any BFI releases? You seem just the sort of person to collect those. Like me.
I have a few, not many. I can't really... I think I've got the Godzilla BFI DVD, the 54 one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a few on Blu-ray. I've got like Eyes Without a Face and La Belle La Bête, which is, I think it's the original Beauty and the Beast. Not many at all, just a handful. But yeah, it's not really a label I get a lot from. There's not many at all I've got from it.
I'm of the same opinion. I think I've got the Kurosawa's Samurai collection.
Yeah.
And that's about it, really.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. It really annoys me that we don't get those movies individually on Blu-ray. You can get Seven Samurai individually on Blu-ray, no problem, but films like Yojimbo, which is one of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
I'd love to have that on Blu-ray separate.
Yeah, on its own. Yeah.
I tend to gravitate to separate movies on their separate releases rather than box sets these days. If you know what I mean. But like, say like for like Yojimbo and Sanjuro, that is pretty much a pseudo sequel to Yojimbo. They both had Criterion releases in the US, but of course they're going to be Region A, and I can't play them, which really annoys me.
Yeah.
Standing Silence says, I wish Indicator would add some more limited editions to their 5 for 40 campaign. I don't know if they did originally. I think they might have done, because I think I picked up a couple. I think I picked up like The Beast Must Die and Crime Wave with their limited versions. I don't know what you get with the limited editions. Obviously, you get the bigger kind of special editions with the nice box sets and stuff.
Yeah.
But with the limited editions, it just seems like all you're paying for is a booklet and a case, like the Scannervox cases. I don't think you get much else for the money. From my experience, having the standard version and then the limited edition.
Yeah,
I think you're just getting a booklet and a Scannervox case, whatever you call them.
Yeah, it was a label I started to collect, but I stopped. I just found it was just way too expensive for what it was.
That's fair.
There's a movie on that label which I won't own. Just on pure principle. I don't want it in my collection. And that's the movie Scum. The rape scene in that movie did not sit with me when I saw it. It really affected me. I didn't like it at all.
They've got Indicator has a really nice edition of that film though. A really nice, proper lavish collector's edition of that. I almost bought it ages ago. It was on sale on their website for like $11.99.
Yeah.
Almost, but I was just like, I know this film's got a reputation of being absolutely vile, so it kind of put me off a little bit.
It's the rape scene in it, and the suicide in it, and it's just super uncomfortable. I saw it when I was about 15, and it just shocked me to the core with what I was seeing. I just couldn't believe it. But it's a movie people do like and do enjoy, and that more power to you. It made me too uncomfortable.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that is fair. Itchy says, I think that quote is from Stand By Me. You're dead meat.
It could be, yeah.
Could be, yeah. Kiefer Sutherland's in that, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've not seen that in absolute years, proper years and years.
That was the movie that made me want to check out more of Kiefer Sutherland stuff. And I think the next movie I watched after Stand By Me was The Lost Boys. Because I thought he was phenomenal in that movie. Yeah.
Standing Silence says, I wouldn't exactly call you an adult, Jason. I mean, this guy gets me. What can I say? He also says, the original Salem's Lot is amazing. Not seen it, of course. I don't know what that is. That's going to go in the bin. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Itchy says, I love how seriously you guys responded to me, to my ridiculous Home Alone. Haha, you rock. I mean, we try. People talking to each other, moving on. Okay, we have a guy called Radley Scott here. Radley Stark. Hello, mate. Have you watched Interstellar or Arrival on 4K? I'm close to pulling the trigger. I have not. I only have them both on Blu-ray, and I've actually not watched either of them yet. So, Interstellar kind of intimidates me because I know it's meant to be this grandiose kind of
kind of
ridiculous, like hard sci-fi, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've only got it because I found
yeah.
it in a charity shop for £1.
Yeah. I enjoy Interstellar. I enjoy about 80% of that movie. I think the ending, if I'm honest, is a bit atrocious. It kind of falls apart for me. I think Arrival is great. I think it's a great Amy Adams movie. It's a great Denis Villeneuve movie, who's a phenomenal director at the minute. Everything he does it turns to gold, in my opinion. He's one to watch. But yeah, on 4K, I actually purchased a 4K player today.
Fist bump. Come on,
yeah.
fist bump.
Yeah.
Fist bump. Boom.
Nice. Yeah, I purchased it off eBay and it only cost me 60 quid.
That's good. That's nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that coming and setting that up because I do have Dune on 4K and I have the Suicide Squad on 4K. So I'm going to look forward to checking out how they look. But yeah, I'm just glad I finally put the trigger on it.
I will recommend don't just go and just buy 4K because it's there. Do your research on the transfer because unfortunately not all 4K discs are they're not all created equal. Unfortunately, and there's I think Films at Home is a very good channel to kind of see if it's worth the upgrade because sometimes. Because let's face it, with 4K, HDR is king. Sometimes the resolution jump isn't really much of an upgrade. It's the HDR that really brings that kind of next level kind of picture there. In my opinion, some people might disagree. But yeah, there are some films like the 4Ks I have. I've not watched all of them, but the ones I have watched, I would say they're worth the upgrade.
Yeah,
like I'd recommend the Jurassic Park trilogy 4K set.
Yeah,
those films have never looked as good as they do on those 4Ks. They look outstanding. They look really good. Joker looks great in 4K. Godzilla vs Kong is probably the best 4K disc out right now.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's unbelievable. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, good discs out there.
Yeah,
I mean, you got kind of like forgotten, films that have come out and just no one cares about, like Power Rangers, for example.
Yeah,
great 4K disc. Like no one gives a shit about that movie anymore, but it's got a great 4K disc, and I still really enjoy that movie.
Yeah, I do. I like it. I think it's good. It's got a great third act, that movie. Despite despite the product placement throughout the whole
Golda, take us to the Krusty Kremes.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, do you know that's product placement in British film and TV is illegal in the UK.
Right. Yeah.
You'll see it in loads of American films and TV.
Yeah.
But in the UK, it's illegal. You're not allowed to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's quite clever. I don't want to see that shit in a movie. Do you? I don't.
No. It takes away from the movie. It takes me out of it.
It's just like you immediately go, "Oh yeah, Krusty Kremes have given you a bunch of money just to say their name in the fucking movie." Yeah. And I remember actually going to Krusty Kremes. They actually had Power Ranger themed donuts as well. It was. I'm not joking. It actually was like a promotion, like a proper cross promotion thing. It was awful. But yeah, definitely do your research on the 4Ks before you buy them.
Yeah,
I can say that. Like I was looking at 2 for $30, and I picked up Terminator 2. Not the new release, the old release, and everyone just was like, "Put it back. It's one of the worst 4K."
Yeah.
So I haven't bought that. I really want that on 4K, but I haven't bought it because it's meant to be bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's not great. Yeah. I'd really like to get the Tim Burton movies, but I've heard the first one has a horrible blue tinge to it. But I've heard Batman Returns is one of the best ones. I've heard it looks great in 4K, but yeah, I'm going to stick with the Blu-rays on those for now. But yeah, maybe they'll re-release it, the first one. do a proper job.
But yeah, I think basically, yeah, all the MonsterVerse films look great in 4K.
Oh,
Kong,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Godzilla vs Kong, Godzilla King of the Monsters. I wouldn't, the films I wouldn't say flat out avoid, but I would say they don't give you much of an upgrade. Would be the Marvel stuff,
Right.
I think you'd be quite if you even have any on Blu-ray. I think you'd be happy just sticking with the Blu-ray releases.
Yeah, I've got up to Shang-Chi on Blu-ray from Iron Man to Shang-Chi.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like rush out and get all the 4K. I don't think it's really worth it. But yeah, you'll find a lot of the older films look the best on 4K.
Right.
I'm not saying new films look bad. Obviously, Godzilla vs Kong is like probably the best disc out there that I've watched so far, in my opinion. But also, you've got stuff like Psycho, which looks outstanding in 4K, absolutely fantastic in 4K. I don't think I've seen that film look so clean in my life. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
So it looks like it was shot yesterday, kind of thing.
Yeah, I've heard The Thing looks quite good in 4K as well.
I've not got around to checking mine out yet. It's still sealed because I'm awful at watching stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keith for Euphoria Pictures, he says it looks great. Yeah. Mortal Kombat 2021 is a really good 4K.
Okay.
That's surprisingly good in 4K.
Yeah,
I was really surprised by how good it was. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. But also there's a lot of bad ones from my knowledge. So I guess just be cautious with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have Movie Database in the chat. Hello, sir. Welcome to the stream. They say, what's up, guys? What did you think of Scream? Well, I'm not seeing it until tomorrow, so I don't have an opinion yet.
Okay.
And you spoke about it earlier. You really liked it.
Yeah, it's fun. It was enjoyable. Not as good as the first movie. It has its problems. It's not a masterpiece, but it's adequate. Yeah.
Coolio. Right. The conversations in this chat, guys. Absolutely crazy. Right, okay. Sandstone says, no offense, Jason, but In Time is a pretty ridiculous movie. I mean, I don't get offended anyway, so don't worry about that. But like, yeah, I get that. It's a ridiculous idea. It's high fantasy to the ridiculous degree, but I love that film. I don't care. Sometimes a ridiculous concept is the reason why I want to check out a film in the first place. Like, that sounds ridiculous. Let's watch it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I had a really good time with In Time. I don't know how to explain it. Like, if you told me, oh, there's this really high concept sci-fi movie with Justin Timberlake, it's really good, I wouldn't believe you. But I watched it and I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I had a really good time with In Time. No pun intended. Standing Silent says, I have Legion on Blu-ray. Should I perhaps watch it on your recommendation, Jason? Well, as you've got it, you might as well, right?
Yeah.
You might as well. Oh, I missed someone. Gary North says, good evening, everyone. Hello, welcome to the stream.
Hi, Gary.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Gary's brought up a good film. I've not seen that. I actually want to check out.
Okay.
Gary has said, I have Censor on pre-order. Really want to check out that film because it's about the Video Nasty era. It's about the Video Nasty era. Yeah, I really want to check that film out. So I might have to pick it up. I've got a feeling Second Sight are putting out an edition of it on Blu-ray. I could be wrong, but I believe so. We have Luke in the chat. Hello, Luke. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, Luke.
He says, "Hi guys, I'm here watching and want to see the new Scream movie. I guess it says went to see this new Scream movie, and it was really good too. Awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah. Yeah. No, glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow." Yeah. Radley Stark says, "The Exorcist was a landmark movie, way ahead of its time. Laugh at the special effects and miss the whole point. Free, I'm a clueless Dullard t-shirt to any clown missing the point of that classic." That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Radley Stark says, Aliens is already on 4K Blu-ray. What am I missing here? Is it? Well, it's not in the UK, it isn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it has a release here. Yeah.
No, it's not here. Oh, right, okay. He says, "Oh wait, that's the second one."
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, I did think. Aliens. James Cameron's Aliens from 1986 hasn't been put out on 4K, but I think it was announced last year. I think there was sort of a pseudo announcement of it coming out.
Yeah.
Dr. Impossible says, "I've heard that how do you pronounce that?
Tarantino's.
I don't know. I can't fucking say words. I'm awful. It was The Hand of God, made by Netflix. Was good. Recent Italian film, but I'm yet to see it." Okay.
I've not heard of it.
Keep an eye out on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Radley Stark says, Gravity is coming on 4K Blu-ray soon, by the way. Film I've not seen that I really do want to check out at some point. Yeah. So that might be a buy if it's a good transfer.
That's one movie I've seen where 3D actually added to the experience and wasn't a gimmick.
Oh wow.
3D actually played a part in improving that movie.
Yeah, I can imagine the depth of space. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go and see that on the big screen in 3D, and it was something special. It was awesome. Yeah.
Are you getting notifications through? Because I can hear a
yeah, yeah. That is my bad.
It's all right. It's all right. I just thought I'd mention this. It's all right. Standing Silence says, don't think I've ever pre-ordered anything in my entire life, but I was very tempted to pre-order Good Guys Wear Black, 88 Films.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not familiar at all with that one. Radley Stark says, he's replying to Standing Silence, pre-ordering is a really bad idea, but you'll do it anyway. I do too. Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
If it's definitely something I want and I don't mind paying, day one prices, then I will. It's just one of those things. But say for something like Halloween Kills, I'm going to wait. Because it's not a film I particularly like, but I'm a completionist when it concerns franchises, so I'm probably going to pick it up when it's cheap.
Yes, I'm the same. Yeah.
What am I doing? I have Clark Teddles in the chat. Hello, Clark. Thanks for joining the stream. He says, "Hey guys, I hope you're both doing well. I'm just popping in for a bit. Got a delivery the other day, and my Irreversible box set Blu-ray arrived. It's a fantastic set made from Indicator. I almost bought that, but then I've heard like the horrifically bleak and depressing tale it tells. So
yes.
I'm just like, do I really want to check this out? And a particular scene goes on for far too long that I don't really want to watch.
Yeah. It's something else, that movie. Yeah.
Is that would you say that's part of the French extremity movement of films?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very upsetting movie to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Gary says, I saw an article on Google. Tesco reportedly stopping all physical media very soon. Yeah, I think all the big supermarket chains are doing that now.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really affect me because I never actually go to supermarkets for my Blu-rays and DVDs, so it doesn't really affect me too much. But I know that a lot of people do, which is a shame.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, some people, in different places in the country, it's the only place they can get their media from.
Yeah.
Like I know for a fact for me, like even my HMV, because I don't drive, my HMV is like an hour bus journey away. It's quite a long way to go for one shop.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about going there, and I'm just like, you know what? I just might just go on their website and order from the website because it's just no point in me going all the way there for one shop. It just seems a bit of I need the whole day just to go to HMV. It's a bit counterintuitive, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But for some people, their local HMV could be 3-4 hours away, and they've only got supermarkets to get their media from. So I do feel sorry for those kind of people that won't have a direct access unless you go on the internet. But I don't think you can't beat just browsing the shelves, man. You just can't beat it.
No, you can't. You can't. Something special about that.
Yeah, you can hold and you can see what you're getting.
Yeah.
You can tell if it's a flimsy box or if it's a hard, rigid box, or you can tell that you're getting the slip. That you're going to get the slip cover with it if you want the slip, or there's all different things that makes browsing a store superior than online shopping. Online shopping is convenient because it's at your fingertips. With Amazon Prime, for example, it's at your fingertips and it's with you. It'd be at your door the next day, kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
that's cool, but you're never certain on what you're getting, really.
No.
Especially if you're after a particular edition of a film, you never know if you're going to get that particular edition, which is a shame. But I'm very confused by this comment.
Okay.
I don't know what he's talking about. Radley Stark. Hey, love face. Tell the girls to turn into iguanas and jettison themselves into outer space. Have they done it yet? He said they'll do what we say. What?
For me, that one.
That's I don't understand what that is. Moving on. He also says, never mind the CX stickers. That's bad enough. Let's ask if it's illegal for them to send items together and charge separate postage for every single item. Yeah. He's got a point there. That's frustrating as well.
Yeah. That is one of the annoying points about CEX ordering from them.
I remember about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, going back a little while, when it was literally a £2.50 flat fee. No matter how big your order is, it would just be $2.50 flat rate. That's it. But no longer. They just want to bleed you dry these days.
Yes. Yeah.
At least they are not allowed to send us reprinted covers.
Yeah, that's the bonus. Yeah. Yeah.
How they can do that legally, I don't know. Because if you look into like copyright law and stuff, it's actually illegal to reprint logos that you don't own.
Yeah.
To sell them. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yes, there's a lot of problems with CEX,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm yawning. Dr. Impossible says, Pedro's films are always a watch. Women on the Verge of Nervous Breakdown was my first taste of the director's work. back when Channel 4 used to show loads of foreign language films on TV.
Yeah, Pedro Almondorf. Yeah, he's done some really good films. Yeah, I like some of his films. I think Volva's one, Live Flesh. Yeah, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. That's quite a good film as well. Yeah, puts Antonio Banderas in a lot of his films as well, I think. But yeah, his films are quite good.
Good to know. Gary says, what annoys me is when you buy when you buy a sealed Blu-ray and it arrives with a broken case.
Yeah.
That's never happened to me though, but I can imagine it still
Yeah,
happens.
I can imagine it. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with this. Standing Silence says, I've had that several times ordering from Arrow and 88 Films because they don't use any bubble wrap inside the box. Indicator and Vinegar Syndrome pack things great and properly. Yeah, I've had a couple of packages from Indicator where I've got quite about 6 titles in each parcel from their sale, and it's proper bubble wrap all around the edges of the box. You know, the actual Blu-rays are wrapped in bubble wrap. They pack it really well. But saying that, with Arrow, I've always found Arrow kind of delivers stuff properly. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I've not had Arrow deliver me anything bad before, so I can't really comment on that. Itchy says, whoa, don't you dare insult Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Don't think about it. Too late, Itchy. I've done it already. Too late. Let's face it, you can actually enjoy it, but it's a bad film. Come on.
Yeah.
It's kind of bad. Oh, Itchy, I've done it again. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's the definition of daft, that movie. It's just yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, excuse me.
Bradley Stark says, Will Jason has ignored all my comments. I am not going to count him as my special internet friend, which will be a real blow to him. I'm heartbroken, Bradley. I'm heartbroken, completely heartbroken. Can you see the sadness in my eyes? I'm completely soulless. My soul weeps. My soul weeps for that rejection. Due to that rejection. Loads of people talking to each other. Gary says, I also have Sword and the Sorcerer 4K on pre-order.
Okay.
I've heard of that film, but I can't think of my life of what it actually is. No, I can't think.
No, it's lost on me.
Oh, I just remembered a film I watched that I didn't talk about at the beginning.
Okay.
I watched that Netflix film, Love and Monsters.
Right, okay.
I had a really good time with it. It was really fun.
Oh, good.
It was like a really simple, kind of easy road trip, kind of post-apocalyptic movie with monsters. It was fun. It was quite heartwarming, comfy, kind of like an easy watch. It was good. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
And there's a US 4K which I might buy.
All right.
Might get, because you can't get it. It didn't get a physical release in the UK, which is annoying.
Yeah.
We always get fucking screwed over with physical releases over here.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Itchy says, no, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is one of the most logical sequels to one of the most iconic horror movies ever made. If Hooper had done a sequel that looked like the original, it would have been a lame copy. I mean, you've got a point.
Yeah.
You've got a good point. You've got a good point there, Itchy. But it doesn't make Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 any less bad. it's still a bad sequel, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm glad you enjoyed it, sir. You're allowed to have a good time. Like I'm not saying it's like the worst thing ever. I just think when you compare the two, it's a massive dip in quality.
Yeah. The one thing you can't call the second movie is a rehash, because it certainly isn't a rehash.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's good though, but yeah.
Stand in Silence was talking about Arrow releases. Candyman was a good release. Thief, Black Moon Rising, Killer Clowns, the last remastered one, City of the Dead, Hide to Kill, a few releases. A few of the releases with very good looking transfers. I do want to get Killer Clowns, and I do want to get City of the Dead as well.
Right.
Because I've jumped on the video Narcissus bandwagon at the moment because Mondo Chervek movies has kind of got me into that kind of mindset of like, oh yeah, I'm interested in like seeing what all the fuss was about for some of these films.
Yeah.
What's the time? Fuck me, it's gone midnight already. Right. I don't know. Dr. Boss says, God knows who'll repair our Blu-ray players with spare parts when there are no more spare parts for them 40 years' time. Screwed. I mean, I think there'll always be. I think there'll always be parts and stuff. You know, you still can go out and buy a modern day cassette player, for example.
Yeah.
So I think there probably be the cheapest parts imaginable, but I still think they'll be available. I don't think they'll be gone completely.
No.
I'm sure there's no. I bet I can go to a little kind of electronic store, and I could probably take my VHS player. They probably could repair it. Probably, sort of, maybe not. Actually, probably not at all. Actually, don't listen to what I'm talking about. I'm talking shit. Science says, I would definitely recommend the mentioned releases.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've seen a few of them. Yeah.
He's got Radley's got a point. Even consoles are 4K Blu-ray players now would be fine. Yeah, he's got a point.
Yeah.
But that all digital future is going to be coming though. Like,
yeah,
I don't think physical media is going to go away, but I reckon it'll become more of a niche form of entertainment. Like, I feel like you might not see the big studios putting out Blu-rays and 4Ks. I think you'll get the kind of like niche labels like Arrow and 88 and Indicator and stuff like that. I think you'll see they'll probably be the last kind of distributors of Blu-ray, and that I reckon that'll be on the shelves.
Yeah.
If on the shelves at all, they might just be operate online, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope it doesn't go that way. I know it's looking as if it will, but I so hope it doesn't. I'm living in hope that it doesn't. But yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. Radley Stark says, "Lol, Andy really liked Vamp. Apparently, yeah, has nothing to say about it." And he expands on that by saying, "A few words. You mean no words? It's an 80s vampire movie. No shit, Sherlock."
Yeah.
I mean,
I liked it. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and from when I saw it, I really did like it. Like, I did enjoy it. It's like these two guys like go to this club and they like see this. It turns out to be this vampire, by Grace Jones. But like I say, I know the movie's quite old, but I don't want to spoil it if people haven't seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've not seen it.
Yeah.
And I would like to see it now you've said that. So it's all
Yeah.
good. Dr. Impossible says it'll be the black market for spare Blu-ray player parts, like something out of the film Hardware. I know of that film, but I've not seen it.
It rings a bell. Yeah.
I think it's like, isn't it like a horror film with this like robot that comes to life and starts killing people? I think it's something to do with that.
Okay.
It sounds very similar to that film Virus from the 90s on the boat.
Yeah, with Jamie Lee Curtis.
That I quite like. It's a bad film, but I quite like it.
Yeah.
I quite like it. It's a bad film that I quite like. Sound of Science says it's because he's a man of few words, but he did say some things about it. You've got to pay attention.
Okay. Don't have a fight in the chat, fuck's sake.
Yeah, don't bring the a beef is to be eaten, not put in the chat. Thanks.
Yeah.
Randy Stark says, well, you can always digitize your Blu-rays, so you no longer need the hardware. But what's the fun in that? You might as well just sell your stuff now and just be like, "Yep, digital now." I don't know. Yeah. I just don't find there's any value in having a digital collection because, you're paying for a license to play the film. You're not really own the film.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping me from putting my disc in my Xbox and playing that disc. As many times as I like. Obviously, if a disc gets damaged, it's a different matter. But I mean, there's no way for them for the owner of that film to say, we revoke your license, you can no longer watch this. But I bet they could do that with digital.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. They can't come around to your house and say, "Oh, hang on, you can't put that on. We're taking that off you." That's not going to happen. Well,
Dr. Potter says, I couldn't digitize them. Just imagine if I lost all those files, gone forever. Yeah. This is kind of like, I know it sounds ridiculous to say now, but like, like these streaming services or, these streaming digital platforms, all this, like these, I don't believe these servers are going to be up forever. Sure, they've probably got a lot of you. They've probably going to be going on probably long before we're dead and gone. Like, that's kind of bleak to say, but there's a shelf life on everything.
Yeah.
Like how can when I was a kid, VHS was the fucking shit. Like this was how we watched movies.
Yeah.
Like we didn't expect to go to DVD. We didn't expect to move on from that. It was just like, I got, have you seen Aliens? I got that on video. You know what I mean? Like that was the shit. Yeah. There's a shelf life for everything. So, this whole digital future thing, sure, it probably will be the future, but the great thing about physical media is if your internet is shit or those services go down, you can't access Netflix, you can't access Amazon Prime, and etc. You can just put a disc in your machine and play it, like as simple as that. Like that's the way I see it, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'm not saying I hate the digital stuff. I've got Netflix, I've got Disney Plus. I still use those platforms, but I don't believe in them being the be and end all. I want to be in control of my movie library. I don't want the corporations to be in control of my library because that's what they are. Because Netflix are dropping and adding things as they see fit.
Yes.
And the same with the other platforms. There might be a really obscure movie that you can't find on streaming platforms.
Exactly. Yeah.
That might only ever have a VHS copy, right? For example. So sometimes you might have to, just compromise and get a really old piece of technology to play a film that you've wanted to see for years. For example, I've been collecting Godzilla for like 5 years, and there's one film from 1989 called Godzilla versus Biollante. the DVD and Blu-ray from America are out of print. The Blu-ray goes for about $100,
Right.
and the DVD goes for about half that. Goes for about $50. I'm not paying that for a Blu-ray. I'm not paying that for a DVD. Fuck that.
Right.
And I found the cheapest way to own that film was VHS.
Okay.
And that's how I've got it, and that's how I watched it for the first time. Yeah, it's in dub, but it's got a bit of charm in the old dub.
Yeah.
You know? It's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the way. Like, you know, the digital future in the streaming, the streaming services, they're not going to be. You know, there's a lot of people see them as like, you know, all these movies at your fingertips, but do you really? You don't have all the movies. And from what I've heard about Disney are not caring as much about their older, you know, older material. They're all about the now and the future stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they're shoving the Marvel stuff down our throats at every turn.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Disney movies that I grew up with watching that aren't on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Like The Brave Little Toaster is not on Disney Plus. I adore that film. There's a movie called Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, which is a great live action Disney movie. It's not on Disney Plus. And of course, I know that Disney are pretty much trying to erase Song of the South, aren't they? Pretty much. Like, they just don't want that. They don't have pretty much any association with that film anymore.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, unless you're a big Hollywood, you know, movie, I don't think you're going to be safe when it concerns this digital future.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's hard enough to get, you know, to get licenses. You know, Toho are awful for the Godzilla films, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any of those films on the streaming services.
Right.
You know, so it's difficult. I just think I just don't see it as a very kind of stable future for movie fans. I think physical will always be the way to have the movies that you want at all times.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. With physical, I love having a tangible copy of the film and making a collection out of it, and you know, because that is then I have a copy of that movie. No one can take that away from me. Yeah. But the downside to it is probably space. You know, you're gonna run out of
yes, yeah.
Well, with streaming services, okay, yeah, I get it's convenient. You know, you can put it on, it's there, no trailers, straight to the movie. But streaming services for me there's too many of them. I couldn't afford to be subscribed to all the streaming services. I couldn't. There's just far too many.
I mean, I don't pay for Netflix or Disney Plus. My sister pays for them, but she's just giving me her login. Like, I don't. Yeah. You know, because I don't think I wouldn't use them enough to justify paying for them anyway. Plus, I don't want to give Disney my money, so there's that.
Yeah.
So my sister's just like, here's my login. You know, watch what you want. And I'm very grateful for that. That's really nice of my sister to do that. But what is there? Like Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO Max,
Apple TV, Shudder,
Shudder, Paramount Plus. Is it Paramount Plus?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's in the States. I think.
Yeah. There's loads. There's probably more than that. Yeah. Like, yeah, I know they're all different kind of price ranges and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know anyone that would want all of them either, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like it's difficult. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just on that mindset. I think they both can coexist, and I don't think physical is going to be supported forever, but I think it's the superior concept because you control your library.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Radley Stark says, so back them up twice. Then think of your physical Blu-rays as another backup, a sort of last stand. I guess. Don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go through the effort of backing them up. That's a lot of.
No, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort.
Hell, sadly, my computer. I don't have a disk drive in my computer, so I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. I don't know anyone that has a PC with a disk drive. None of my friends do.
No. I've got external ones. Yeah, it's all external. Yeah.
Yeah, disk drives in the computer is almost as an ancient relic now. Like, that's a concept. PC gaming. That went full digital. At least over a decade ago. But I get that because, like, say for example, on Steam, I've got like 300 games, for example. But when they're like super cheap, I don't mind it. But when you're paying full price for a movie, I'd rather pay full price and get a physical than pay full price and get something that I don't truly own because it's just I'm just paying for the license to watch it in my home, so to speak. I don't know. We can talk about this subject forever, couldn't we?
Yeah.
People, stop arguing, people.
More arguments about Vamp.
No, just talking about how Itchy says, "Are you going to bitch about what Jason and Andy say?" He says, "No, I'm going to bitch about what you're saying." It's like, oh, shut up. Stop arguing, people, please. Radley Stark to say, question for you all. Am I the only one who thinks the Mondo Blu-ray cases look like ass? I don't know what he means by Mondo Blu-ray cases.
No, I'm not.
Are Mondo the company that took over from Amaray? Maybe that's what he means. Because I know Amaray went out of business, didn't they? As far as I'm aware.
Right. Yeah. Are these the newer ones? They look more. They've got like a lighter blue color to them.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them, if I'm honest. I prefer the Amaray ones. It's a shame they've gone. Yeah, I don't really like these new ones.
Radley Stark says, I agree with Andy. Scum is just an awful film, very, very hard to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's awful. Like, it's a well-made movie, but some of the stuff in it is really disturbing. Like, it's super, super uncomfortable.
Yeah, Itchy says Scum is a rough watch indeed.
Yeah.
Radley Stark says Kiefer Sutherland's best movie is Flatliners, as an FYI. I've not seen that film.
Yeah, I like it. It's fair enough. It's not my favorite Kiefer Sutherland movie. I enjoy it. It's got a good cast. Yeah, I just think it's okay.
Cool. There's a remake as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, I've heard it's awful.
I just seen the comment. It made me laugh. Itchy says, hope you all have a great night. I had fun. Bye for now. Cool. Thanks for joining us, Itchy. I appreciate taking the time.
Yeah. See you later, Itchy.
Have a good weekend and stuff. It's such a weird comment. Gary says, Bad Boys with Sean Penn is like an American version of Scum.
Yeah, I've heard this original Bad Boys with Sean Penn. Like, it's a prison movie. I've not seen it though. Yeah. This comment made me laugh. Radley Stark says, Jason just answered the question I asked about 8 days ago, which is cool. That's great. We're so behind in the comments. It's not my fault.
Stand in Silence says, Jason, the indicator limited editions also have reversible covers, while their standard editions don't. For a long time, I used to only have like 4 of their releases, but I got 22 more on their 5th anniversary sale in November. Yeah, that's when I bought most of mine on their 5-year anniversary sale. I bought about maybe about 12 titles, I think, something like that.
Okay.
Gary North says, Indicator, a great label. I have over 40 of their releases so far. I might get more. I'm cherry picking the titles I want. Man.
Yeah.
Like I wanted the Sinbad trilogy. I wanted the John Carpenter titles that they did.
Yeah.
I wanted the Beast Must Die because it's a great whodunit werewolf movie. I wanted Crime Wave because I think I heard you talking about it in your Sam Raimi video, Andy, and it's made it quite fun.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Radley Stark says, on a serious note, thanks, Jason and Andy, on your thoughts on 4K. Andy, 4K HDR will change your life. HDR more so, actually. Yeah, I agree. This HDR makes 4K. It's not just about the resolution.
Yeah.
High dynamic range is the thing. It's just it makes that picture just brighter, vibrant.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Yeah. It does wonders. Dr. Impossible says, a sense of freedom. That film is on the same level as Scum, but it's about a different subject. A Scottish criminal locked up in the Scottish criminal justice system. Brilliant film.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to look out for that one.
Pete, the guy goes, what is your favourite movie quote? I know Andy's. Put the toys, can't say it. Put the toys back on the carpet. Put your toys back on the carpet. Now it's not a tumor. No, it's not a tumor at all. No, shut up, you idiot. Shut up. There is no bathroom. Man.
Yeah. I love Kindergarten Cop, man.
Yeah. It's such a if you go into it for the first time, it's such a kind of shock because you're expecting this kind of family friendly kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger with kids movie, but it's not. It's like quite a dark movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got this sort of like undertone of drugs to it.
Yeah.
It is quite dark, but I still enjoy it. It's entertaining. You know, it's Schwarzenegger trying to break the mold a little bit and do more of like a family comedy, but still have those serious tones to it.
Yeah, I think he succeeds.
Yeah.
I think he succeeds with it big time. Whenever someone says about my favorite movie quote, it's always been the same one. I don't know why. Maybe it's just nostalgia and remember being a kid and being fucking just loving this film as a kid, and that's Return of the Jedi. Take your weapon, use it, strike me down with all your hatred, and your journey to the dark side will be complete. That's probably my favorite quote of ever. Like I love that quote.
Yeah. Yeah, the delivery of that quote as well is so good. The way he's just sat back in the chair.
Doesn't give a shit.
He said, "Take your weapon." He's as nonchalant as I am now. He's like, "Take your weapon."
Yeah.
Strike me down. You know, I need you. Just do it. Yeah.
I absolutely like the Return of the Jedi is a weird one because I love the opening act, Jabba's Palace. I love the final act with the Emperor and Darth Vader. The middle bit is so odd in that movie. It's such an odd middle chunk. Like I love it. That's probably my most nostalgic Star Wars film. But when you rewatch it, there's that middle chunk is so strange with the Ewoks and all that kind of stuff. And I can't help but feel like they made Han Solo into a bit of a bumbling idiot in return. That like I don't know whether it's just like you know like oh, I don't know whether it's a sickness because he's been frozen in carbonite for so long. I don't know, like I don't know if you know you seriously like. I'm being serious, guys. If people are still watching, we've still got 10 people watching, so I appreciate that. Like, like you go back, you watch Star Wars and then watch Empire Strikes Back, and then watch Return of the Jedi, and then tell me that Han Solo is the same character. He really isn't. He's an idiot in Return of the Jedi. I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's like that bit where they're trying to break into that little hut, and he's like, "I think I've got it," and then another set of doors.
Yeah. It's so odd that middle bit. I don't know. It's I still love that film. Like for all I still love it. But
I do. It's great.
Oh man, I'm still thinking of favorite quotes. So that Emperor quote there from Return of the Jedi is the big one for me. I love that. It's just that the delivery, like you said, is just perfect.
Yeah,
it's so perfect. Like it's great.
Yeah, it's good. There's a lot of funny quotes I love. There's one from The Rock which I really love, but from Sean Connery. I think he says like, we've got to do this task, and Nicolas Cage says, I'll try my best, and Sean Connery says, losers try their best, winners go home and fuck the prom queen. I love that quote.
I immediately replayed that in his accent.
Yeah.
Sean Connery. He's really hard to do. Like if you try to copy, really hard. He's really hard accent to copy. The only quote I can remember from The Rock is when he's just like, "I'm gonna gut you like a fish, boy." He just keeps repeating it. I remember that. I've not seen that film in years, you know.
Yeah,
years. No. Not seen it in a while. It's a Michael Bay film, isn't it?
Michael Bay, yeah. It's one of his better ones. But
yeah. I'm trying to think of quotes now. See, the Star Wars one's easy.
Yeah.
I still, if you're gonna look at a funny one, I still think it's just like, "What you doing, man? I did nothing. The pavement was his enemy." I love that. It gets me every time.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know if you've seen the movie. We were talking about this one last night. I don't know if you've seen the movie Lake Placid.
Very, very long time ago, so I don't remember it very well.
Yeah, there's a quote by Betty White. I think they're talking to her about feeding the crocodile.
Oh, she's a lady that fed her husband to the crocodile or something. Yeah.
There's a line where she says, "If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it." I just thought that line coming out of Betty White is so funny. It's one of those juxtaposition things, because she's such a sweet old lady, but to come out with such a line is phenomenal. Yeah.
So when it's really hard for when people go favorite movie quote. Obviously, my go-to was the Star Wars one, but my brain automatically just goes to all these Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff. I don't know why. My brain automatically goes to Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I just think he's got the best quotes ever. He's the best.
He's the best at delivering one-liners.
Yeah.
Like when he delivers a one-liner, it stays with you. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a pervert. I was looking for Turbo Man doll.
I'm not a pervert. I'm a Turbo Man doll. Put the cookie down now. Who said you can touch my cookies?
Yeah. I think it was. It was.
I love that movie.
I think it was on Hack the Movies where they said, well, they showed the bit where he's chasing the kid through the mall, through the play, and then they cut that scene from Commando where he swings from the elevator, so it looks like he's just chasing it, like non-stop. Yeah.
There's some great lines. Like I love the Running Man. Like here's Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to eat that contract. You better leave some space in your stomach so I can put my fist in it and break a goddamn spine. Something like that. I never remember that line exactly how he says it. I always forget because he says it so quick.
Yeah.
I always forget like the exact quote.
I think
so many good ones.
One of my favorite quotes from him from Batman and Robin is, "I hope Mr. Bane can swim." That gets me so much.
The go-to one is a simple one. What killed the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
The Ice Age. I love that.
Yeah. Let's kick some ice. Oh.
That's such an Arnie thing to say as well.
Yeah.
You can tell he's relishing it when he says it. It's like, oh yeah. It's an Arnie line. Oh yeah, let's kick some ice.
Yeah.
That's the way he makes that film for me. It's a fucking.
He's the best part of that film.
Yeah. Oh, I love him.
It would be a worse off movie if he wasn't in it.
Yeah. It's probably the budget went. He probably cost the most money.
Yeah, because he's the first build. He's top billing for that movie.
Yeah, because George Clooney was still quite an up and comer at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Look at George Clooney now. He's like a big star. He's not so much a big star now, but he was a big. He
wasn't at the time. I think really at the time he was only really known for like ER, at the show he was doing.
The hospital show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I've forgotten. Yeah, if when it comes to celebrities I want to meet, Arnold Schwarzenegger is almost probably top of the list. I have so much respect for the man. So like you see him and he's got his own YouTube channel. You watch him just talking and just doing. He sounds like such a candid dude, like such a top guy, and like he's so positive about everything.
Yeah.
Like he's so. I think he can be very hard on himself because like. I used to have a book with a bunch of quotes from him, like actual real life quotes, like motivational quotes, and it's just like the first quote in the book is "Failure is not an option."
Yeah,
like he must be very, very hard on himself through all his ambitions in life. The bodybuilding stuff.
Yeah.
I think he says, I forget what the YouTube channel is, but he did an interview and it was like him just discussing his different roles. And he was like, he was saying how loads of agents that he met in to help him promote him being an actor would say that, oh, he's too big and his accent is too strong. He would never make it as a superstar actor in Hollywood. And, he says, he didn't let that dissuade him to pursue acting. No. And then he goes, look what happened. I became at the time, I became the highest paid actor in Hollywood,
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's such positivity all round. And I do respect him for that. Obviously, he's done some questionable things in his personal life that we won't go into, but as a person, as a public figure, as a person, you see in movies and you see him do interviews, he's just, like, I just love the guy. I just think he's such a fucking awesome dude. Like,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I love him. He's great.
He just happens to be in some of my favorite action films ever.
Yeah.
He's so good. I fucking love Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like the day we lose him is going to be a big sad day. I think for the world of movies, man. Like,
yeah, I agree.
He's like. I think I don't think he's a particularly amazing actor, but I still think he's one of the greatest of all time. Like, definitely.
Oh yeah, he's a great movie star.
Yeah.
He's
he's larger than life, isn't he?
Yeah.
Larger than life is a good way to put it.
He's one of the best, movie stars to have star power, star draw. You might not care about the movie, but you'd go and see it because he was in it. Yeah. He's the draw. Yeah.
Crush your enemies, see them be driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women. I think, everyone goes up, does the whole stuff. Yeah. I think the first film I saw him do that in was Total Recall, when he's getting like his hair. So what I'm doing with my life. Total Recall is my favorite Arnie film.
Right. Okay.
I love that movie. Absolutely adore that film.
Yeah, I do.
That's got some fucking great quotes in that one. See you at the party, Richter.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Benny, screw you. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Radley Stark says, for anyone interested, Blade Runner 2049 in 4K HDR is just unbelievable. I couldn't follow what was going on in the movie. I was so amazed by what I was looking at.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I've seen that film. I've got the Blu-ray. The only reason I got the Blu-ray, I got it for £1 in the charity shop.
Good steal. Yeah.
Yeah, so not seen it yet. When I hear films are like 3 hours long, that's when I'm kind of like, it takes me a while to even get to them.
Yeah,
because it's quiet at the the entry requirements is quite like 3 hours. Do I really have 3 hours free anymore? Like, it's quite tough. When Justice League came out, I had to make time for 4 hours to watch it. I had to find a day where I was just like, right, where do I have 4 hours? Here, okay, Justice League. This is where I'm gonna watch that. That's a film that didn't need to be 4 hours, but damn, I'm glad it was, because it really fleshed out everything in that movie.
Yeah, it's definitely the superior version. It's definitely the version we deserved. It's the version the movie deserved.
It's just a shame that it kind of is leading to something we'll never get, which kind of, for me, it's making me kind of not want to buy it physically, because it's not going to give much replay value, because it's 4 hours, and also it teases something that I've been wanting for years that we're never going to get, and it really irks me.
Yeah.
That's the only downside I find, that as much as that end tease of the Injustice storyline is so cool, I think knowing where Warner Brothers was going to go with the DC movies, they could have cut that, and I think it would have served the film in terms of a replayable film a bit better.
Yeah,
because it's a massive sequel bait that we're never gonna never gonna be delivered on, and that's a shame. And I think that hurts that movie overall.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
People talking to each other. I'm probably going to wrap up when we hit 3 hours, because my voice is dying.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Radley Stark says, okay, I'm off. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Thanks, Jason and Andy. You have a great crowd of people gathered here. Peace out. Thank you very much, Radley. Appreciate you joining the stream.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, we're so behind on the chat, dude. We're so behind. Stanley's Silence says, Good Guys Wear Black is pretty much my favorite Chuck Norris film. It's a Chuck Norris movie.
Okay.
Do you know what? I've not seen any Chuck Norris movies except for Way of the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
Right, okay. Yeah.
I've not seen anything. Well, I've seen him in like Expendables 2.
Yeah. I think the only one I've seen where he's the star is Delta Force. And that's only because it's on Arrow.
I've never understood the meme of Chuck Norris. I've never understood why because I've never seen him as this massive star. So I've never understood why he's become this massive meme for some reason. I've never understood it. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I kind of get it, but it's like I don't get why it's Chuck Norris. I think it could easily work for Schwarzenegger. These type of memes where it's like, he's this invincible godlike figure.
But I think that's the joke.
Yeah,
I think the joke is Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
didn't they play on that in Expendables 2?
Yeah, there's a joke, isn't there, about the snake?
I've not
says,
seen the film in so long.
yeah, he says, Chuck Norris says, I was bit by a snake, but after 3 agonizing days, the snake died.
That's still funny though. There's some really funny like jokes though. Like the one I like is like Chuck Norris walks down the road with an erection, everyone dies. That still kills me to this day.
Yeah, there are some silly ones I really like Chuck Norris sleeps with a pillow under his gun. Yeah, just silly, but yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that the Chuck Norris Bruce Lee fight is fire. Just saying.
Yeah,
awesome fight scene. Clark Cheddle says the irreversible set has a really interesting booklet about the film. I watched it for the first time the other day at around 4 a.m. A very full-on film. The transfer was amazing and the sound is amazing. Cool.
Yeah. I remember watching that movie for the first time because I remember telling you I watched it back to back with Eden Lake, and it was a rough afternoon. It's like, oh,
I tell you what, right? That Eden Lake, that's a film I know pretty much everything about it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I know what it's about. I know what happens. I know the endings. I know the whole film, but I've not seen it.
Yeah,
it sounds like a film that will make me very angry. So
yes,
I don't know if I should watch it.
Yeah, I was getting pissed off while watching it. Not at the movie, just at the characters. But yeah, 2 rough movies, man. Well,
so I don't think I'll ever watch Irreversible. I don't think I'll ever watch it. It just doesn't. I know it's just not going to be a film for me. I can see it. From everything I've heard, you know, I've seen the fire extinguisher scene. That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
And even though there's a lot of films in the French extremity movement of French extreme cinema that I enjoy, like Frontiers, Inside, Martyrs to a lesser extent. I don't think it's as bad as people say. I kind of see it as a kind of a pretentious film, torture porn movie that tries to be a bit more. It tries to be more meaningful than it really is. That's just my opinion. But there is some good ones in there in that kind of genre of films. But I don't know, like once you say there's rape, it kind of just I just don't want to see it. Like immediately, it's an immediate turn off. You know, I've never seen I Spit on Your Grave because of that reason. I've seen a film called Revenge, which is a French pretty much a I Spit on Your Grave clone, I suppose.
Yeah.
If you've seen that. That has a rape scene, but it's not as bad, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't like offensive bad. Like I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
That film was all right.
Yeah.
It's well violent. There's some violent bits in that movie that fucking make me wince.
Yeah.
So there's a bit where she shoots this guy. There's this bit where she shoots this guy with a sorry, what?
No, sorry, go on.
I'm losing my way of mind. There's this bit where she fucking shoots her because it's basically her boyfriend and her boyfriend mates. They fucking basically beat her and rape her and that. There's a bit where she fucking shoots her boyfriend in the stomach with a shotgun. His intestines are all coming out. So what he does, he wraps his abdomen with like shrink wrap to keep his intestines in.
Right.
And she runs around in this kitchen at the end, and she runs around, and she fucking smacks him with the butt of the shotgun in his exposed intestines, and his like in the gape. I'm like this. It looks like the most fucking painful shit ever. I'm like that's got to fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Do you know that? You know moments like that where you're just like, oh god, yes. Why movie? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah, I've seen bits like that. Poor.
Oh, it's made me all go weird now just thinking about it. Why did I even bring it up? God. Oh, I've got abdomen pains just thinking about it. Oh god, just like, I was like, don't do that. That's horrible. Where were we? Oh yeah, talking about a horrible, violent bit that makes me wince. Moving on. Stan, are you feeling it as well?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I apologize.
Right.
Staying Silent says Silent Range is kind of hilarious too. Watched it for the first time like a year ago. Good Guys Wear Black I've seen like 6 times. Cool, man.
Cool.
Luke says, finally got Jaws 4K, Jason, mate. Just got to
watch it now.
Mate. Yeah. I haven't opened mine yet. I do like my edition. I'm kind of don't want to open it.
Yeah.
Standing Science says, I received a parcel from Arrow last year where 7 out of 9 of the films had broken cases, not packed properly. That fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
And they're the clear cases. They're harder to get as well.
Yeah.
That sucks. That fucking sucks. Standing Science says, when this stream is over, I'm going to eat and watch Aliens and skip right to the part where the Marines enter the hive and get their asses kicked. They're coming out of the walls. Let's rock. Who's firing? God damn it. Oh, man. Yeah. Fucking love Aliens.
Oh, Aliens is, it's great.
Just great. What are we going to do now? Game over, man. Game over. That's a quote. That's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Great movie quote.
Yeah.
Get away from her, you bitch. Fucking Aliens is so good. Oh, man. I just get excited just saying the quotes and stuff.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, it's so good. We're going there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out. Fucking, oh man. Sigourney Weaver, Ellen Ripley, one of the greatest female characters, one of the greatest female-led movies ever, right?
Yeah. A lot of people forget as well. She was nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars for that film.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said this before. Like, I don't understand. Like, you got modern day feminism. Like, if there's any film that could really promote feminism, it's fucking Aliens, man. You've got a badass fucking female lead that kicks and takes matters into her own hands. She does a better job than fucking trained Marines, right? Takes shit into her own hands, right? Takes shit into her own hands. There's an undertone kind of like subplot in the film. The film's all about parenting, really, and motherhood and stuff like that. There's all that in the film. Oh, mate, it's a feminist movie if you think about it. If there's a film to promote women, it's fucking Aliens, dude. And I don't understand with these fucking neo-Nazi feminists going, there's no strong women in our movies. Fuck off, Aliens, fucking Terminator. Fuck you. Two of the greatest female characters ever, fucking Ellen Ripley and fucking Sarah Connor. Hell yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just get a bit annoyed when people go, there's no strong women, female characters. There is.
Yeah.
Go and look in the 80s. There is. There definitely is. There's two of the best right in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like 2 years apart from each other. They're there.
Yeah.
Man, I fucking love Aliens.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
I love it. I want to watch Aliens now, but it's like 1 o'clock. How the fuck's it 1 o'clock? What's going on? Sophie's back. I'm back, my love. I'm not sure you will get to this comment, but the one and only is back. Well, I'm glad. That was 40. That was that was 15 minutes ago. Anyway, Luke says, "Have you seen that? The Tender Bar Guys on Prime? That's a really good movie this year. Ben Affleck was fantastic in it."
No,
what's it called? Tender Bar Guys.
I've not heard of it.
No, I don't have Prime, so I can't watch it. Sad face. I wanted to watch that Tomorrow's. Is it called Tomorrow's War or something? with
with Chris Pratt, yeah.
Yeah, that looked pretty good, but I've not seen it. I liked the concept.
I've heard it was okay. Yeah.
My God. This guy, some dude 682 says, I kind of agree with him. I'm not spending $10 on a fucking service for two things that I'm interested in. He's got a very good point.
Yeah.
They've got a very good point. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but I'm assuming it's a guy because it's some dude, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I totally agree, because that's usually what happens. I'll pay for Netflix and there's fucking nothing on there I want to watch.
Yeah.
Gary North says A Raw Deal is one of my favorite Arnold movies.
Yeah, I like Raw Deal. Yeah.
That's one of the ones I kind of don't like that much. Like Raw Deal and Red Heat, I kind of like a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not really ones that I would say that are for me. The same with Sixth Day is a bit meh.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
I like Erasure is the right kind of bonkers for my liking, so I quite like Erasure. End of Days is ridiculous. I love End of Days. It's so fucking absurd. so such an absurd movie. Of all the people to go up against the devil is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
You're a quiet boy compared to me. Anyway. Gary North says Return of the Jedi seems rushed. Maybe. I don't know. It's just like I said, like that middle chunk seems a bit weird.
Yeah. One of my favorite bits in it is when Yoda confirms Vader is his dad, and you can just see the disappointment in Yoda. He's just like, your father he is, yeah. Because like Yoda just doesn't want to tell him. He just doesn't want to. He's beating about the bush, and he just doesn't want to tell him.
I'm trying. There's a really good bit of dialogue in Empire Strikes Back. I can't remember it. I remember the Yoda bit, but I don't know what Luke says. Luke says something, and then Yoda goes, "That's why you fail."
Yeah,
but it's a really bad burn. Like it's a savage burn, but I can't remember what Luke says.
It's when Yoda pulls the X-wing out of the swamp, and Luke says, "I don't believe it," and then Yoda says, "That is why you fail." Because he just doesn't. It cuts deep, man. It's a deep cut.
Yeah, that's the burn. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's obviously that. I don't know if it's a classic line, but it's also a line that I remember from Empire Strikes Back, which is like, "I'm not afraid. You will be."
Yeah.
You will be.
It's so good when Yoda's introduction. He's just basically like being a bit of a tit.
Mine.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, I can't. He switches and he's like, I can't teach him. He's got no patience. And he's like,
because Yoda is such what a marvel of practical puppetry that is. Yeah. Holy shit! Like so good.
Yeah.
Like people, like even like you go to Phantom Menace, he was a puppet, and they fucking CGI'd him in after the fact. Yeah. So annoying. Like puppets, keep them in; they look better. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I love the bit where it's just like when he meets Yoda, it's just like, I'm looking for a Jedi Master. His name's Yoda. He goes, "The value you have." I can't do Yoda's voice. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh man. The only bit I don't like about Yoda is when he fights Count Dooku. I think he just is dumb. It's just a bit
dumb,
silly.
Yeah.
I keep getting this fucking someone putting like a website in. It's like, fuck off.
Right.
Like a Russian account putting like a website address in. I'm trying to block it all the time. That pisses me off. Doctor Impossible says not as rushed as the Disney Star Wars films. The last suck hole. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like. I don't want to spoil the new Scream film, but I felt as if there was some in that movie. There was some shots fired at Ryan Johnson. I won't say when and I won't say where, but keep an eye out for it when you watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it still kind of like, does it ride the metaverse? Like, is it still kind of meta?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the other films? Like, does it play? Does it have fun with like what horror films are today? And
Yeah,
stuff like
all the tropes and
yeah,
it does. Yeah.
Cool. Pete, Play Guy asks, what's your favourite snacks to have whilst watching a film?
I'm a bit like I'm a bit like the YouTube channel John Flickinger. I like me Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Has he quit?
I don't think he's quit. I just think he's not doing as much.
House or something?
He's moved like I think he's moved like 8 times like in the last couple of years.
Because I had a video recommended to me. It was one of his videos, and I know his channel through Chris Duckman. That's how I know his channel. Yeah. And he said saying the video is just called "Saying Goodbye." So I was like, "Oh, is he quitting?" Like, I'm scared. Is he quitting?
Yeah.
I don't like.
He was saying goodbye to where he was living.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was moving. But yeah, I don't think he's left YouTube completely. Whether he's doing as much, I don't know. But
yeah, when it comes to actual favorite snacks, I think it depends on location. Like, it depends on where I am. Like, if I'm at home, it's usually probably like, savory, kind of like crisp snackies, kind of like tortilla chips or something. Or obviously tea. I drink a lot of tea. But at the cinema, it's usually popcorn.
Yeah.
I had one of their hot dogs the last time I was there. That was quite nice.
Okay.
But that's because I was really hungry. I didn't have any dinner. That's when me and Sophie went to see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I didn't have any dinner, and I was quite hungry, so I had a hot dog instead. I had a hot dog, and I had popcorn. Popcorn's like, in my mind, it's like I can't go to the cinema without having popcorn. Like it's a staple.
Yeah.
But at home, it's weird. At home, I wouldn't eat popcorn. It's weird. I wouldn't have popcorn at home. I'm a bit weird like that. Like popcorn is popcorn's always been a cinema thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that. Stan Science says I prefer some nice food, but I will also have potato chips and stuff like that too. Stan Science says, Jason, you should check out some more Paul Verhoeven films, except for Total Recall. I like RoboCop. I like Starship Troopers. What else has he made?
Showgirls. I suppose meant to be one of the worst, but I enjoy it. It's fine. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great one that came out not too long ago called Elle. I thought it was fantastic. I think it was a French movie. Really, really enjoyed it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I know some people like Hollow Man.
What, Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Oh, he did that as well. I really like that movie. I think it's quite underrated.
Okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I understand. It's got its fans and that.
If you look at his films, though, they've got such style to them.
Yeah,
they've all got style. Like RoboCop is like one of the best '80s action films ever. Like, so good.
I think it's a masterpiece. RoboCop, absolute masterpiece.
So good. Like Total Recall, such a great '90s sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
my favorite Arnold movie by far. Starship Troopers, like aliens with bugs, like holy shit, like fucking awesome. And it's like a black comedy, really. It's like kind of almost like a It's very tongue in cheek, isn't it? Starship Troopers.
That has one of my favorite quotes in it ever. It's when Michael Ironside picks this corpse up, and there's a hole in the head, and he just says, "They sucked his brains out." I'm like, it's just the most obvious line ever. I love it. Oh, it's great. Starship Troopers.
It's obviously like, there's a classic line, "Come on, you apes, you want to live forever?" Like,
yeah.
That's a film I don't own on any kind of media, which is weird because I love that film.
Yeah, I do. I just think it's great.
I remember. I think that was one of the first truly like really violent films I remember watching as a kid.
Yeah, it's graphic, man.
Yeah,
that brain bug is what a fucking horrible way to die. Oh,
I mean, it's twofold. You got to look at it for one.
Yeah,
you got to fucking look at that thing for one. That's one part of it. Then you get your fucking
yeah. The sight of it alone is terrifying. It really looks unsettling, and then what it does is even worse.
But does it gain? Technically, it gains knowledge, right? In theory,
I think so.
Yeah. Right. Who's the actress who plays the love interest?
Is it Denise Richards?
Yeah, I fancied her for such a long time. Like after watching that movie.
Yeah, she's in Tammy and the T-Rex. And
that film is something else.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That film
is nuts. Yeah. I would recommend Wild Things with Nev Campbell as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Science says Delta Force is the best movie ever made depicting terrorism. Okay.
Yeah. I can sort of see that. Yeah.
Gary North says Irreversible is so disturbing. Once you see it, you never forget the film.
No. Yeah. I agree with that. It's so unsettling. It doesn't sugarcoat it or soften the blow in any way, shape, or form. It's so raw in its depiction. It's just, really, really uncomfortable stuff.
Standing Science says the first 20 minutes of Frontiers was good, but I thought the rest of the film was pretty bad. I thought it was all right. I quite like that film for what it is. Have you seen Frontiers, Andy?
I've not heard of it.
Well, it's about a couple that are I forget exactly the plot because I haven't seen it in ages. It's about a couple. They're just trying to basically get out. They're basically fleeing somewhere. They come across this little kind of like house in the middle of nowhere. It turns out they're like neo-Nazis.
Right. Okay.
Basically, they kidnap them and they torture them and shit. And the girl, she basically escapes and she just fucking like gets revenge. But it's like really violent and like really like proper like French extremity. I thought it was pretty good for what it was. I thought it was pretty entertaining for what it was.
Yeah.
Science says, I would say the Ripley versus Alien Queen fight towards the end is the best cat fight on film ever.
Yeah. Certainly up there, if not the best.
I just love the subtlety when she meets the Queen and she's basically like, if you touch my baby, I'll touch yours. And
Yeah.
It's basically what it is. Like, it's literally like two mothers defending their children. Like, that's the fight. That's literally the fight. Like, it's so good. Oh man, I love aliens. Have I said that before? I love aliens. But... we were talking about how like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the sequel are so different. Alien and Aliens, like, they're so different.
Yeah,
they're on the same level of quality though. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
You don't get sequels like that anymore. Terminator 2, Aliens, Gremlins 2. You just don't get sequels of that kind of quality.
You don't get sequels that take a risk and don't rehash, but yet still maintain that level of quality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Empire Strikes Back to me will always be the best example.
Yeah, they made the great thing about Empire Strikes Back is that in the first movie, Star Wars, they established the Empire as this all powerful force, and in the in that sequel, they feel dangerous. They come across as a true threat in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Not just Darth Vader a threat to Luke Skywalker, but like the whole Empire feels like a whole threat to everything.
Yes.
The ending to that film is so kind of bleak, like kind of just like, well, what's going to happen now? Like,
Yeah, it is. It's like where do we turn now? We could, they seem like such a formidable force. You can't really outrun them. You can't really beat them.
Mm.
It's like you're fighting a losing battle, is what it feels like.
Sophie says, we need to watch Aliens together. Yes, we do. But the only thing about Aliens, Soph, is that you don't like flashing lights. I do think Aliens has got a lot of flashing lights in it, if I remember correctly. Especially the ending, like the final act, because all shit's going crazy.
Yeah.
We've got Gary, the Blu-ray Addict. Hi, Gary. Thanks for joining the stream.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah. We are going to be wrapping up soon because I need to get a drink. My voice is like, fuck you. So says, what is all that noise? Oh, it's just Sweep's pride. That's all. Biggest burn ever. That is a burn though for a kids show. That's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Standing Silence says, Showgirls is awesome. Cool. He says, Hollow Man is good. Yes, it is. I really enjoy Hollow Man. Sophie says, I'm off to bed now, my love. Off to bed now. Love you, my love. Andy, you're all right, I suppose.
Thanks, Soph. I will take that.
Good night, my love. I will speak to you tomorrow. Standing Silence says, I think Alien and Aliens complement each other so well. Can't say that about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2. He's got a point. Right, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, everyone that has watched for 3 hours and 17 minutes. Really appreciate everyone jumping in and asking questions. It's been really fun. Andy, thanks a lot for joining me tonight.
No problem, Jason.
Chat.
It has. It's been an absolute pleasure. Really, really enjoyed tonight. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah. It's all good, man. It's all good. Everyone, if you don't mind going over to Forgotten World of Movies and giving Andy a sub, I'm sure he will appreciate your support.
Yes,
and if you haven't subbed to me yet, I'm 2 away from 600 subscribers, so I would appreciate the little bump up to that milestone. That'd be a lot of help. If you've liked this stream, be sure to like the video. That always helps the channel out. And we will see you next time. See you later.